as a Dragon or, the Sandhurst supporters, there's nothing better than beating Golden Square, and for the Dogs, there's nothing better than beating the Dragon. So it is a true rivalry. It's been there for a long, long time, and they'll come out this afternoon, both teams, and they'll be both looking to knock each other off.
Yes, absolutely. Now, from my perspective, I thought Golden Square last year, probably towards the end of the season, I thought they were favourites to win it. Yep. They were disappointing. They only got beaten, I think, by Gisborne because Braden Blake really got hold of Matty Compson in the ruck, which I don't think can happen again. So, I know Sandhurst this afternoon, they've got some big names in. Cody Maxted. Yeah, Maxted didn't play last week. Tardru didn't play, and Conforti didn't play. So, what I like about Golden Square is they're a lot more settled. I think they're another year on and they've got unfinished business. And it doesn't matter in my mind. You can bring a lot of players in, but you've got to be able to gel straight away. So that's why I'm going to tip Golden Square just this afternoon.
Well, I can't go against the Dragons. The Dragons with those three, and I know it's going to be a little bit hard. You're bringing three guys in from, VFL level. They don't know the game as, for the rest of the side. It's going to make it difficult for them to just slip in and be able to pick up the game style and how the Dragons play. But they have three massive innings. I watched Sam Conforti last week on in the game against Collingwood. They played in the VFL, and his run up and down the wings. He's a very, very good mover. Uses the ball pretty well normally. So, and then you got Tarju, who's across back. He's one of Collingwood's best players going down in that level. So, and they rate him pretty highly down there as well. So, him coming back in is going to give him a cross half back, I reckon, if he plays there. Really, really good drive off that back line.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether it's a good old-fashioned shootout or the side tag.
That's the other way too. The only thing I did, a couple of guys said with the weather the way it is and the height advantage, maybe just with the Dogs. So the Bulldogs might be just, that put a bit of pressure on the back half of, obviously, of the Dragons. So the Dragons not being as tall or as, potent down in their back half might just come to a fruition in the game if they are really getting the ball in there quickly and getting one-on-one contests. And, as we always say, they don't get any shorter as the day goes on, Johnny. They still maintain that height. So it could be a shootout. Who knows?
Do you know when you look at a list and then you give some kind of opinion and you look at the other team and you go, oh, geez, I didn't realise that. But what I'm looking at now, Collins didn't play last week for Sandhurst. Andrew Collins. Yeah. Now, up forward, they were really potent. They've got Lachlan Wright that was up there. He kicked 5 goals. He was unstoppable. But again, in the preview when I talked about the Kyneton game, Kyneton just worried me that they gave the Dragons so much time and space. That's not going to happen this afternoon. So it's going to be a completely different ball game. But also, Bryce Curnow, he played across half-back.
Yep.
Kyneton, when they were kicking into the forward zone, they grabbed the ball and then they blazed away. They sat it up like high. It reminded me of the Richmond days with the centre half-back, what's his name, the Rance.
Yep.
When Rance would just pick him off.
Yeah.
So they played... The Tigers played into the Dragons' hands. So just from a barometer perspective, I just don't know whether looking at that Kyneton game last week gives me enough intel to confidently pick Sandhurst either. That's why I've gone with Golden Square.
Yeah, look, they're able to, Curnow, I watched him last year, and what he does, he played back in one quarter, then he went forward, then he went back. So every time they kicked against the breeze, he went back. And he's the guy that just sets him up. If he does that out here today, he's got the ability to get and rally his troops into the right positions. He's such a good valued man on the ground as a coach to be able to do what he does. He's not a gazelle out there. He doesn't move, quickly, but he's just got the nous. He's got that nous of being able to get his men in the right position and then get himself in the right spot as well.
Yeah, and look, from a ruck perspective, last year, big fan of Hamish Hoskin.
Yep.
Big-bodied, gets around the ground. He's going to be up against it today because Matty Compson, different type of ruckman, more mobile around the ground, I think. what Hamish Hosking will do, and we've seen it many times, he'll try to body in the middle, he'll grab the footy if he can, he'll push away with the don't argue, and he'll try to swing on the left.
Yep.
I don't think Matty Compton will let him get away with that.
No, Matty's a big boy, and he's not going to be able to be pushed off the ball that easily. So they'll be making sure that that doesn't happen. And that probably, if they've been able to watch a bit of a replays and watch what happens with the big fella and how he does it, so they might be able to say, right, well, this is what we've got to do. We've got to make sure that he's not doing that and making sure that he's not getting that easy kick out of the centre and getting it away into their forward half and getting that first opportunity.
I think Christian Carter, what he might do, he might double team Hosking as well, because they've got young Hugh Freckleton wearing number 19 for Golden Square. He came out of the under-18s last year. He's really mobile. There's big raps on him. So a double team job could be the way to go this afternoon.
Yeah, we never know. We'll see what happens. Both sides out on the ground doing their customary little huddles at either end. I didn't catch the toss, but we'll probably pick that up pretty quickly, Johnny, and see which way that the Dragons and also the Bulldogs do kick. Just looking as the interchange bench boys just start to drift across here and to
City
the
end,
bench.
it looks like Sandhurst if Matty Thornton's going down there.
Yeah, well, you would think that's going to be James Coghlan down there. So we're looking at I'm seeing Bryce Kerno go towards the Barnard Street end. So I'm thinking that's where they'll be defending, and the Dogs will kick to that end first up in the first quarter.
And there's no advantage to speak of, is there? It's absolutely perfect conditions here. And the Sandhurst Dragons, the Golden Dragons, the members are down in front of us just to our right, which is
Drinking responsibly.
Of course, and eating. As we
Lots of food.
We're just about to get things underway in round 3. It's the Ron Best Memorial here at the QEO in perfect conditions. Sandhurst are taking on Golden Square. It is footy fresh. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Here's Brian Mansbridge.
Well, Compton and Big Hammer. Big Hamish is in the middle of the ground. Hosking getting ready. Umpires are all ready. The game is about to get underway here at the QEO. And a first bounce here this afternoon. Ball tossed in the air. The ruckman set themselves and it goes up. Ball, no, yes, Hoskin wins it out. He grabs it out of the ruck, handballs it away, quickly out of the centre of the Dragons. Tarju kicks a ball, bouncing. Coghlan trying to run onto it, can't quite get there. Just gets pushed off the ball. Big hands out the back. Now a snapshot, left boot from centre half forward. The Dragons are on the board. I'm not sure who that was.
Was Hosking?
It was Hosking, and that's a big goal to the Dragons early on. Footy fresh is Bendigo Live.
Well, it was a beautiful bit of work by Andy Collins. Andy Collins was lurking up forward. He grabbed the footy. He was a little
straight out.
Yeah, a little left-handed handball. Hosking had pushed forward, and he banged on the left, and he banged truly, and it was a very, very good goal and a good start to the Dragons.
Yeah, nice little just being able to get that handball, go back out. Hoskin standing in the right area, and he was able to just from 45 metres too.
Up they go in the ruck. It'll be Compton. It was really a dead heat. The ball marginally forward now for the Dragons. Wharton did well for the Dragons. Contested footy halfway between the centre and right half forward in attack for the Dragons. We'll have another ball up. So it's 1-6. The Dragons. They got a goal within the first minute. It's Thrum. He tried to grab the footy and he couldn't. They all jumped on the top of him, and we'll have a secondary bounce. So halfway between the centre and half forward. Sandhurst in attack. We've gone a minute and a half. Sandhurst leads 6. Golden Square 0.
Ruckman out. Compton gets it out off the back of the pack, and the little handball out the back. Nice little take there by Monty. Went out wide. They go right out to the far side. Bulldogs now just chip it around. They kick it over the top. Geary takes it on just forward to centre wing. Gets it inside, bouncing ball, pressure on, going in with Smith trying to tackle, quick kick off the pack, the Dogs bouncing it over the back. Orkin 40 dropped what he should have taken, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Day Wicks. Couldn't quite get it. Ball is pushed out through, and it will be a kick.
Minor score.
Yep, it will be a minor score for the Dogs, and that'll take it to a 5-point ball game.
Hood will kick it in for the Dragons. He look to bring it broadcast side. Plays on from fullback. Oh, lucky to go the required distance. It was a short pass. Spotted up a teammate. We'll spread it wide. This is Ireland now. Right half back, Dragons, to Maxted, who's pushed up the ground. Centre wing, Maxted, by hand, gives it off. Now they're away. It's a good piece of running by, it looks like Dave Wicks, into the forward zone. Thornton's there for the Dragons. So is Collins. We're 40 metres out from goal. They all dive on top of the football. Umpire Dale Caldwell, in his 300 game circles, blows the whistle and says, give it to me, and we'll ball it up. Dragons in attack. 1 goal straight 6 to 1 behind Golden Square.
Ball into attack for the Bulldogs now. Kick it to centre wing. Gets it out to the outer side of the QEO. Pressure's on. Hard tackles. Brought to ground. Stacks on the mill. Umpire crosses the arms and says, give it to me. And I'll ball it up on centre wing, outer side of the QEO.
Footy fresh is Bendigo, football live. Up they go. Compston, he taps it forward. Maxted there. Compston, well, he butted up his own ball. It was a good, neat bit of play. He tried to give a handball over the top and find Reeves. Reeves got tackled, tumbled over the line, and it'll be a ball in swimming pool side. True centre wing position. Perfect condition. Hosking versus Compston. Hosking's got his left calf heavily strapped. I think he did last week from memory as well. He's used his body well. He taps it to the front of the pack. Now they circle. Good bit of work by Toma. Toma, he's a big-bodied boy now compared to what he was a few years ago. Picked up by Conforti. Conforti of the Dragons. He'll go shallow inside 450. And Jonathan Coe takes a good saving mark for the Bulldogs.
Yep. Inside their defence. They go out wide. Kick it out towards the scoreboard. The Dogs now just chipping it around. They go deeper in their defence. But Geary out in the pocket. No. They decide they're going to go straight down the outer wing. Centre half back. Ball going over the top. Dragons have got the numbers. Going out at the back of the bird, running with the ball there was Ireland. Couldn't control it. Over the line, out of bounce. And then we are throwing centre wing on the outer side of the QEO. One behind plays a 6. 1 goal straight to the Dragons. 1 behind Golden Square. We played just on 5 minutes in this first quarter.
Footy fresh is Bendigo football live. It is round number 3 here. It was a bit of a fast start. Now they've all settled as the ball goes inside forward 50 for the Dragons. Nice collect Bulldogs through Shelton. Shelton, it was a poor kick. And he's kicked it straight to the opposition of the Dragons. Will send it back the other way. And I reckon it's a goal.
It is.
Connick has picked it up. I reckon it's Connick who's kicked it. Wow. A little bit of a mistake there by Golden Square, and it's a costly mistake by Shelton. So the score now is 2 goals straight, Sandhurst, 1 behind Golden Square. We've gone 5.5 minutes. Opening term, Footy fresh is Bendigo football live.
Yeah, well, the way they were able to do it, Shelton came out, attacked the ball really, really good and hit it hard, but he was, just the kick going out was not real crash height. And then, turnover, Connick on it, and then a quick return in and kicks the goal. And the Dragons are on top. Ball back in the middle. Ball at ground level. No one can grab hold of it. Picking it up. Oh, Big Hosking just threw his body around. Stag, up and under. Well, that's gone higher than it's gone forward, so it'll be play on. Kick, a quick kick. Stag ended up getting it. Put it out to Collins from 45. Runs towards goal, and he's just missed. Oh, had plenty of time, and the Dragons are on fire at the moment. They go to 2-1-13. They lead Golden Square 1 behind. We played 6.5 first quarter.
Well, Andy Collins is looking dangerous up forward. He's finding time and space. Captain Jack Geary for Golden Square will play on from fullback. He'll send it out of side. 50-metre ball. Comes off hands. Tracking the football is Hickman towards the boundary line. He, unfortunately, was the offending player in the last error, which caused a goal to Sandhurst. And it very well may be a free kick. Didn't see what it was for. But it's Tardrew now for the Dragons. Tardrew looks to kick it long. He does. He'll go shallow inside forward 50. Thought was the target, but a sliding mark to his knees. Shelton again getting involved. He'll play on quickly. Give it to a handball to Thrum. Thrum of the Bulldogs. Deep in the back pocket. Kicked it straight to Matty Thornton. Thornton now has taken a mark directly under the scoreboard, and he'll just settle and have a shot at goal, Brian.
Well, they just can't get it past the wing, can they? They get it out there. Charju cuts it off. They've been able to just make sure and get it inside forward 50. And once again, just a bad skill error. Thrum just kicked it out, thought he had plenty of time. Big Matty Bear Thornton just jumped in front of it and said, thank you very much.
These are the goals that he will probably kick. He steps inside, kicks it long, kicks it through, and it slams into the post for a minor score. So Sandhurst doing all the attacking. They go to 2-2-14. They lead Golden Square one behind. 8 minutes gone, opening term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Geary chips it out wide, finds a teammate in the back pocket. And now, what are they going to go to the outer side? The Bulldogs. They get it out to half back. But it's again the Dragons all out there. Quick kick inside. Not going to hit Stagg. Can't pick it up. Attacking it hard. The Dragons going in. But a good tackle and held up right on the arc of 50. Just right on the arc. It'll be a ball up. And Hosking and Compton will set themselves again.
Compton wins the tap. Puts it towards the boundary line. Shark by Hickman again. Racking up the possessions. Also at the back of the pack is Vaz. Paddles the ball towards the boundary line. Hosking offers support, but defensively Dragons did well. Put it over the line and we'll have another ball in. 14 playing 1. 13 point margin. 8.5 minutes gone. Opening term in this Ron Best Memorial. Umpire will throw it in. Hosking versus Compton. It'll be a good battle this afternoon. Hosking got the first goal of the afternoon. Used his body. Put it down the throat. It was nice to Tardru. Dishes it off. Now it's a long ball to half forward for the Dragons. Here they come again. Bulldogs under pressure. Hurried handball. Might have been one for too high. Bulldogs will get a free kick and the recipient will be Liam Barrett.
Barrett now from half back. Collins just got him a fraction high. Chips it short. Doesn't hit the target. Ball going back inside. Bouncing ball back towards the arc of 50. Hitting it hard with the Dragons. Running onto it. There was Thornton. He couldn't quite get it over. He got it over the top. And Power Platt, he just wasn't able to kick the goal. And another minor score to the Dragons. As it was Utra, was it, that hit that ball really hard for the Dragons? And again, Urator, is it? Is that how you pronounce it? Urator?
That's what they do.
That's how what they're telling us. All right. And it will be a kick in from fullback this time. The Bulldogs are going to come out to the grandstand side. Compton couldn't take it. Ball off the pack. Curnow, chip over the top. Urator couldn't quite grab it. Ball down at ground level. Little hands through the back by Coughlin. Couldn't hit the target. Came out the back to Warden. Snap. Bear Thornton, one-hander. Taps it in the air and grabs it in the middle of the square. And he'll go back and have a set shot from a point-blank range to look for the third goal of the quarter for the Dragons and put them into a massive lead. And he goes back and kicks another one for the Dragons. They go to 3-3-21. They lead the Bulldogs one behind here. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, on that occasion, it was players like Alex Wharton that pushed forward that are providing targets there. He didn't get his hands on the football, but they've just got the weight of numbers. Kobe Maxtetter's lurking, Lachlan Tardru also, and Zach Paul Pratt, all pushing forward on that occasion, creating numbers. They've just been able to concede, and Matty Thornton just did the rest.
Yeah, that was a good mark too, Matty. He was... one-on-one contest. He threw the arm out. It just punched it in the air and then took the grab. So he did very, very well. And then an easy shot from the square.
Well,
that's what you like to have, Johnny. I like to kick him from the square.
Absolutely. But, looking dangerous here. And another player, Andy Collins, who's looked potent up forward, has just come to the bench for a spell. But Golden Square just can't get...
dangerous.
They can't get their hands on their footy, can they?
No, and they can't get it past their half-back line. And at this stage, the Dragons are cutting them across half-back and then from those wings, and they just got run and carry.
Compton tried to win the tap, and, it was Hosking again, and now it'll be Dragons. That weight of numbers. Shallow inside forward 50. Target will be Wright, who kicked 5 last week. Free kick. Emerging would be Dogood for the Bulldogs. He spots up Hamish Morecambe. Bulldogs on the outer side wing. It's a kick that hit Zave Murley on the chest, but he spilled a mark that he otherwise might have taken. Goes over the boundary line. Disappointing result. 70 out from goal. It's the closest they've got to goal so far. Well, apart from that minor score, but closest for a long time. 3-3-21 Sandhurst. One behind Golden Square. 12 minutes gone. Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Ruckman again set themselves. Ball off the pack. Tarju picks it up. Gives the handball off. Has a player out by himself in right. Lockie Wright then moves the ball over the top. They're moving the ball quickly. Needs to kick it. Got caught. Going to be pinged. It's a free kick and it'll go to the Bulldogs on half back.
So, Bulldogs, you sense they just need to get one on the board just to settle. but they haven't been able to get it across half forward. They're falling down all over the ground.
Tarju's absolutely cutting them up around the ball. He is in everything at the moment. Ball got over the back this time. Murley takes the mark. Now he's going to set them inside forward 50. He sums up the situation. Stop, start. He's got nothing. No movement. Nothing happening up forward of the ball. He tips it over the top. Who's he got? He got a player there who was able to hit him, and that was Hartley.
Hartley now, he goes shallow inside forward 50, kicks it straight to Noah Walsh. So the Dragons off half back, they're going to repel. It'll be Will Moran, come from Castlemaine from last season. Short pass is effective. Spotted up Stagg. Stagg by hand to Walsh. Walsh is at 51 metres. Goals are open, and it will be a minor score. Wow, opportunity missed, Dragons.
Their run's good.
3-4-22 Dragons. Bulldogs one behind, 13.5, opening term. Footy Fresh has been to go Football Live.
Out of side this time, they go the Bulldogs. They get it to half back, and they settle themselves down now. The Dragons are pushed out. They chip it over the top. Geary presents himself and says, give it to me. I'll set something up. Now, Jack, what can he do? Playing 301?
One, yeah, or two it might be, yeah.
Decides to come all the way back to Shelton, who takes the mark in front of the defensive goal. He goes out wide. Kicks it on the bounce. Monty picks it up. Can't get it. Now under pressure. Shelton has to come back. Little tap out. He ends up giving it to Burke. The under pressure still Stagg. Taps it in front. Keeps it towards the boundary line. Defence is working overtime for the Bulldogs. Now they work it inside. Dragons nearly get their hand on it. Slipping and falling. They're going to be able to get it or turn back in. Can't quite get it away. And the umpire says, no, give it to me, as Nick Stagg picks himself up off the bottom there. And who was that on top of him was Burke.
Yeah, in fact, it was Noah Walsh, and he actually bent his knee, so the umpire did well not to give a free kick. And speaking of Noah Walsh, he gets tackled again. And he got pinged on that occasion.
Holding it.
It might have been, well, it was a bit sharp, but no, I like the way that he's gone about it. Jack Stewart now. Bulldogs. Back pocket. Short pass. Hickman. Good punch from behind, though. Dragons are all over it through Will Moran. Got a fist at the last moment. Puts it over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in.
I think it's over. It's out.
In fact, it's an even better result because young Will Moran,
get the free kick this time.
son of Don, will have he's got some magnificent pink boots on as well, I might add. Moran.
Just the pink tops.
Short pass, only the required distance, but it's good enough. Hosking, that was lateral. Hosking on the left to the hot spot. They'll set themselves. Thornton is three deeps. Hands on the football. Spills forward. Hurried kick from the pack. Shelton did well defensively. Puts it beyond 50. Tracking the ball is Ireland. Dragons now take possession of the ball. Receiving it was Mills. Mills of the Dragons. Stepped around far too easily. Goes shallow. Inside forward 50. Maxted. Good strong mark. Takes it. And he's got a player breaking from Connick. He ignores that. And Maxted is a good kick of the football, Brian. He should have a shot from there. 40 out from goal.
He's probably well within range. He's going to kick from probably just right on the arc of 50. But that was good play again and good strong mark, good pack mark.
Maxted with the footy. Perfect conditions. QEO round 3, the Ron Best Memorial. Dragons. It's all the Dragons at the moment. Haven't fired a shot yet. The Dogs. Long, high ball. It's not going to make the distance. It'll come off hands. Minor score. And, well, they had a lot of half opportunities because they've kicked 3-5. 23 the Dragons, one behind Golden Square, 16 minutes gone, opening term.
Monty kicks it out, finds a teammate out the back, but then unable to hit a target outside forward 50. And the ball's gone over the line out of bounds for a throw in about 75 around from the Dragons' goals on the outer side of the QEO, where we see the Dragons lead 23-1 at the 16.5-minute mark of this first quarter. Big man picks it up, can't quite get it back down. Picking up was Coughlin. He couldn't get it. Well, he got a little one forward. Now the Dogs, they work hard. Ball out the back. Little handball, tap over the back. Well done by Tarju. Couldn't quite then get it to a teammate. Ball in dispute. Just here. It's going to be a push in the back. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to the Dogs in Dogood, who will take it in the back pocket.
Dogood now with the footy. It's 23 playing 1. He'll go, well, he'll play on quickly. He'll put it beyond 50. They'll set themselves. Ireland, good strong mark, getting his hands on the footy. He sends it back, shallow inside forward 50. Stagg was the target to the back of the pack. Connick overruns the football. They're under pressure here, the Dogs. Sandhurst are just swarming. Walsh, hands and knees, dishes it out. Reeves picks it up there for the Dogs. Jack Geary trying to get involved. He fumbles. Paul Pratt gives it to Ureta by hand. He fumbles. Bulldogs. It's a hurried handball out of the pack and it ends up with Thrum. Thrum by hand, and it looks like the Dogs are away. They'll be able to settle through Hickman.
Hickman goes into the middle of the ground, finds a target, able to get the big man, Bass in there in the middle. He goes out wide, picks out a target who's able to take the mark on the outer side centre wing. Now they've got some work going. Murley takes the mark. For the Dogs, on half forward, outer side, deep in the pocket, goes to the hot spot. Who can take the mark? Oh, the Dragons just standing tall and taking a very nice mark in the deep end defence. Now they chip it out wide. They go into the back pocket, find a teammate just on the arc defensive 50. They go down the line. Who can get it? Off the back of the pack, the Dragons again. They've got numbers at the pack. They kick forward. They go towards a one-on-one contest, but sliding in the defence of Shelton takes the mark and chips it across and finds a teammate who is able to play on easily in Burke. He comes out wide, finds a teammate on defensive 50 on the grandstand side. Now down the line. Late. It should be a mark. It will be. And it will be a mark to Reeves, who'll take it for the Dogs on half back.
Now it's Reeves with the footy for the Dogs. His kick is down the line. Murley is the target. It was too severe for him. Hurried kick by Curnow. His first possession of the afternoon, and he's coughed it up. He's kicked it to Thrum. Thrum on left half back. Bulldogs looking inboard. Wants to send...
kick it to Johnny. He's just looking down the line. He's just going to end up having to bang it down there and hope for the best.
And that's exactly what he does. And he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to Nelly. Tanner Nelly goes corridor. This is where they'll build. Connick is getting a hand on this football. And it's short pass inboard, and a mark's been taken. It's been taken by Zach Paul Pratt, who's in this afternoon.
Ball goes deep inside, over the back. Dogs got numbers. Now they work it around. Thrum again. Comes out wide. Just coming on the ground. The Dragons kicking it inside forward 50 was Smith. Couldn't hit the target. Cut off again. And it's a mark there by Burke. Burke chips it into the middle. They're under pressure again. Good work, the Dragons. Up and under. Now getting it was Conforti. Went one way, good the other. Got a high tackle. Got pinged. Too long. And it'll be a free kick, and it will go to the Dogs in about 35, 40 metres out from their defensive goal.
It'll be too good with the football. He goes short. Finds Thrum, who's racking up a few possessions now.
Cross half back.
Thrum with the footy. Geez, he doesn't, you're right, Brian. Again, he doesn't know where to go, and he's forced to dump it down the line. And he does do that, but he's failed the last few times. And it will fail again because it goes to Noah Walsh. Probably didn't quite go hard enough just on that occasion. Curnow offered support, handballed it wayward and put it over the boundary line, and it'll be a ball in. 23 playing one. That's one by Golden Square. 21 minutes gone, opening term. Footy fresh with Bendigo Football Live.
Centre wing, grandstand side. Crowds build up. A couple of big functions here this afternoon. Hoskins knocks it down, looking for Tarju. Couldn't get it there. Ball out of the pack. Burke, that was Reeves. Kicked it forward for the Dogs. Got a handball off. Geary took intercept. Went deep inside forward 50. Who can take the mark off front and square? Standing there. Had a quick snap. Was Brett. Couldn't quite get it around his feet. Get it in. And that's the first of the afternoon for the Dogs. They get their first goal. They go to 1-1-7. They trail the Dragons, who are 3-3-21. And footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, it was their first real shot at goal, wasn't it? And it wasn't pretty, Brian. In particular, Thrum, he's had a lot of the footy across half back and deep in that back zone, but they're not moving for him, and they just managed to sneak it through on that occasion. But they just really need to settle and do a bit more ball work through the middle. I haven't seen Jack Geary get much of the football, and he's not alone. We need players like Faz to come into it. Stewart's been okay, and also Barrett hasn't had a lot of the footy. As the ball goes inside forward 50 again, Dragons, they'll attack. They'll look at getting another one before quarter time. Hurried kick Dogs out of the pack. Barrett goes into the middle. Contested footy. Connick overran the football. It's a hurried handball over the top. That was Hickman. That was ambitious to say the least. It wasn't to any advantage. In fact, it was the Dragons. It was the opposition. Hurried kick inside forward 50 by Tardrew again. Now a little handball. Oh, they're coughing it up, Sandhurst, and eventually ended up with Thrum, a golden square. He kicks it to the wing. Now swooped on it. It was Morecambe. Morecambe, a kick to space. It's a foot race. Brett is his target. Brett was clever. He tapped it to himself. Then he goes inboard, and beautiful pass. He spotted up a player who was a beautiful lead it was. And Golden Square will have another shot at goal. And it will be Jaden Burke with his first possession really of this afternoon, looking to put another one on the score for Golden Square.
Yeah, good work. They were able to get the ball. Got some link up this time, running the ball down this grandstand side and being able to have a shot on goal, Burke. But Johnny, not good enough. Couldn't hit the target, and it's through for a minus score.
3-5-23 Sandhurst, 1-2-8 Golden Square, 23 gone. Opening term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
And fullback, Curnow, looks out to the grandstand side, decides to go long. Puts it out towards half-back. Ball up pack, off the pack now the Dragons. They get it again. They go forward. One-on-one contest. Collins sets himself, couldn't take the mark. Ball down front and square. Trying to get it there was Stagg, was it? And trying to get the handball away. Unable to get it to Uttra, who then took the ball over the line, out of bounds. Right in front of us here at the QEO this afternoon for the big game between Sandhurst and Golden Square. Arch rivals. Ball thrown back in, tapped down.
And they're away now. Toma, handball, shoveling ball to Murley. Murley, the Dogs to left half forward. It's not to advantage though. Curnow, Dragons, he mops up. He goes along the line, and that was a little bit of an errant kick as well. It come off hands on the wing position. It'll go over the boundary line. We'll have another ball in. 23 playing 8, Sandhurst lead. 24 minutes gone. Opening term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
He just wasn't able to hit the target. Curnow just mopped it up, did very nicely. Constant got himself in front, ball off the pack, quick snap around the corner. Kicking it forward there was Toma. Couldn't quite hit the target. Dragons again, out wide. Need to take the mark. Good, strong contest out there by Moran. Will Moran now off the pack. They run. The Dragons come inside forward 50. Got a big push. No free kick. Ball over the back. Dogs got enough to get it out wide. Kicking it out there towards his teammate. Well, boundary line came up too close. And it went over the line out of bounds for a throw in about 55. 60 around from the Dragons' goal on the outer side.
Umpire will throw it in. When he throws in, it'll probably be 70 out because he goes towards the middle. Compston, hands on footy, front of the pack. All Dragons again. Hurried kick out of the pack. It's Waywood, minor score, which will take the Dragons to 3-6-24. They lead 1-2-8. 25 minutes gone. Opening term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Jack Geary for the Dogs. Decides to play on. Runs towards the scoreboard. Goes over the top. There's a teammate out there by himself, and they kick it long down the wing. Big pack forms. It gets over the back. Curnow should be the first there. Bouncing ball close to the line. It's gone over the line out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in on half forward on the outer side. It's 24 plays 8, 25, nearly 26 minutes gone in this first quarter. The Dragons kicking to the city end. And the Dogs going towards Barnard Street. Now it's closer to the Dogs and deep into this first quarter.
Maryborough leading Kangaroo Flat 14-7 over at Princes Park. As the ball is with the Dragons here at the QEO. Noah Walsh, handball over the top. They'll share it around. Ends up with Hosking. Hosking, that was just Cooper Smith by hand. Hurried kick into the middle. Barrett, hands and knees. Dogs. Couldn't take control. Stagg did, though, for the Dragons. Gives it to Coughlin. Coughlin now. Dragons will go shallow again inside forward 50. And it looks like Jonathan Coe, tried and true he is, takes a mark for the Dogs, and he'll hurry on and kick it to the outer side wing.
He comes out now, hits the target. Toma picks it up, goes towards a teammate at centre half forward. And that was the man in Reeves. He turns and goes inside forward 50. And leading out and taking a good, strong mark will be, I think it's Burke again. No, it's not Burke. It's actually Brett. And Joel Brett, who's got one on the board. He's the only goal kicker for the Dogs. so far. He'll kick from 35. In front of the South Bendigo Social Rooms end. The ball goes long, it goes straight, and he puts it straight through the middle. And the Dogs get another deep into this first quarter and put their second on the board here. They are able to just get back into this quarter where they've dominated. 3-6-24 the Dragons, 2-2-14 the Dogs. 27, nearly 28 minutes gone in the first quarter. Fresh footy is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, Joel Brett, he's starting to become a bit of a problem down there. I know he's only kicked 2, but he's got the 2 goals there. But every time it goes in forward, he is the one that is making space and he is the target. So, Joel Brett, well done. Having a good afternoon so far as we're back in the middle. Hosking wins it for the Dragons, but again, the Dogs will clear through Toma. It was a hurried kick and it's intercepted by the Dragons through Smith. Smith will kick it to half forward. Geary's at the back of the pack, but it was just caught out of position. Ureta, he overran the footy Dragons. Collins offer support. Little give by hands. It was to Wharton. Wharton will go to the top of the square. Thornton is the target. Metres out from goal. Thrum kills it for Golden Square, which he needed to, and rushed it through for a minor score. 3-7-25 Sandhurst, 2-2-14 Golden Square. 28 minutes gone. Opening term, footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah. From full back, just a little chip out from Thrum. Hits the target in the back pocket. Now they chip it down the line again. Just got it towards the scoreboard. The Dogs on the outer side. Just a couple of little hit the targets. Toma goes long down the wing this time for the Dogs. Gets to the centre wing. Gets out the back. Who's going to be first there? Running onto it easily was Hartley. They gave it off to a teammate now, so they go inside forward 50. It is all the Dogs. Bouncing ball. Brett picks it up, but tackled quickly. Brought to ground. Can he break the tackle? It came out the back to Burke. Gave the handball over the top and a quick kick. And it's another goal to Brett, I think. And the Dogs get one right on the siren here in this first quarter. It was Joel Brett who kicks his third of the afternoon in this quarter and tightens up this game here at the QEO, where we see at the moment is 3-7-25 the Dragons, leading Golden Square 3-2-20. It was 29-minute quarter, and that was an excellent quarter of footy. And the Dogs have got themselves right back in it, Johnny.
And it was Hartley. Hartley gave a little give by hand. It went to Jack Hickman. Jack Hickman, he kicked it into the pocket. It didn't directly go to Brett, but Brett was in the area, and the pressure of the numbers down there, which had turned a little bit, ended up in Joel Brett kicking his third. So...
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
Blowing. Joel Brett has 3 for Golden Square. He got them in the second half of that opening term. And for Sandhurst, they look potent down forward. All singles. Matty Thornton, Caleb Connick and Hamish Hoskin.
Yeah, better players for the Dragons in no particular order. Walsh was good in that quarter. Paul Pratt had a bit of it. Ireland out on that far wing was very handy for the Dragons. Tarju had plenty of it and looked really, really dangerous. Connick had a bit of it. Moran was good as well. Did very well. And then Hosking in the ruck and across half back. He was Bryce Curnow, who just was able to make sure that everything is happening. So they had plenty of the ball, but just couldn't quite dominate on the scoreboard.
Wow, they're under pressure, weren't they, Golden Square, in the opening half of that first term, if that makes sense. The weight of numbers down the forward line, it ended up with Thornton and Collins, and they had players just running right through Noah Walsh. The ruck work by Hamish Hosking early, that was superb as well. So, but their credit, Joel Brett offering a target up there. Golden Square got right back in this game, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. And it didn't look like they were going to because they couldn't get it past their half back line there at one stage or get past their half forward line. They were under pressure all the time. Dragons were dominating. But all of a sudden, it just started to open up that little bit late in that quarter. They were able to get inside forward 50 one-on-one contests. And, Joel Brett ends up on the end of 3, and all of a sudden, they're right back in the game.
Footy Fresh's Bendigo Football Live. Second term at the QEO. Here's Brian Mansbridge.
Ball about to go in. Grobston up against Hoskin. Grobston rinsed it down. Picked up though by Conforti for the Dragons. Kicks it forward. Going inside and coming out. Thornton takes a good strong mark about 45 metres out, nearly directly in front. And, if they can go back and kick the first one straight up, this is what they did in the first quarter. Dominated that early part of the quarter and were able to kick easy goals. And Thornton now from probably just on the arc of 50 will let it go. To the Barnard Street end. Comes in. 48 metres. Gets plenty of it. Goes straight towards goal, and they've got their first of the second quarter. And they'll go to 4-7. Now, that will take them to a 31. They lead the Bulldogs, who are 3-2-20, here at the, just under a minute in this second quarter.
Well, it was a quick ball movement from the middle of the ground, and the hands on the footy through Hamish Hosking. He's giving his runners, Noah Walsh there, just first use of the football. It was a quick entry and caught Golden Square off guard. We've also got going into the middle there is Conforti. He's getting his hands on the football. So Sandhurst starting off like they started the opening term. Hosking grabs it out of the air again. It's a hurried kick to half forward. Dragons trying to swoop on the footy. It couldn't quite do it. Was right. He was good last week. Now it's Golden Square off half back. Short pass will end up with Reeves. Reeves on the wing for the Dogs. Poor kick. Goes over the top and will go out of bounds. Poor result. He had Joel Brett breaking for him, playing up the ground. And we'll have a ball in across half forward. Right half forward. 31 playing 20. Sandhurst lead. 2 minutes, second term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Throwing right in front of us. Love this, John. It's nice close to me. I can actually see it. Ball thrown in. Hoskin again gets a tap down. Oh, going into the pack there was Monty. Couldn't quite get it out. Conforti confronted. Pick up, little handball out the back. The Dragons, good handballs over the top. Wharton ends up with Tarju. He gets on the inside, outside, there, right foot. Going to take a mark. No, it's been cut off, and it will be the big man in co for Square.
He gives it by hand. Thrum receives from the Dogs to the wing. Vaz is the target. Curnow, big fist from behind, but, well, Morecambe, he just marked that from nowhere. Now of the Dogs, turns and goes on his left. Poor kick. Kicks it straight to Tananelli. Bounces off his chest, but he's in the right position. It rebounds back to him of the Dragons. Shrugs off a tackle. He goes inboard. Hosking was the target. Big punch, Compton. Did well. Now it's Curnow. He dives on it for the Dragons. They dive on top of him. 70 metres out from goal. Golden Square attack. Ball up. Good bit of play. 11-point margin. Dragons lead. 3 minutes gone. Second term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Ball in the air. This time, Compton gets it down. Can't hit anyone on the end of it. Thrown out of the pack. It's going to be the Dogs who get a little handball out wide. Toma was the target. Couldn't quite get it there. Picking it up and backing through the pack was Hickman. Couldn't get it out, and he's been pinged, holding the ball, and it will be a free kick, and it will go to a Walsh.
No.
Take it.
No, Walsh short. One-handed grab. Morecambe just stuck his mid out. It's stuck. Now he's sent it back the other way. Into the pocket. Burke is his target. Curnow did well. Upended him. Noah Walsh supports. Dragons. He was right next to the boundary line and had to step over. No other choice. 55 metres out from the attacking goal for Golden Square. We'll have a ball in. 4-7-31 Dragons. 3-2-20 Golden Square. Second term at the QEO. Ron Best Memorial. Umpire will throw it in. Compton v Hosking. Compton used his body. Won it on that occasion. Tardrew for the Dragons. Lost the footy after he'd won it. Then goes in again. And he's fighting for the footy against Reeves, the Dogs. And across left half forward. Dogs in attack. Ball up. 11-point margin. Dragons lead. 4 minutes gone. Second term. Footy fresh. It's Bendigo Football Live.
Out of side, right on the point of the square. Into attack. There's going to be a free kick. It's going to be advantage paid. Oh, over the top, Conforti gives it to Wharton. Bouncing ball. Wharton goes inside forward, 50, turning. Can't get a mark. Ball at ground level. It's going to be a free kick. Is it? Collins is going to get the free kick for the Dragons. Got scragged. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. They were out and running anyway, but it would have been on the run. Collins now from 45. Probably not much angle to talk of. Should go back and put another one on the board here for the Dragons. Andrew Collins, 35 metres out, comes in, bangs it straight over the umpire's hat, and there's their fifth. 5-7-31 the Dragons, 3-2-20 at the 5-minute mark of this second quarter. Andrew Collins gets his first of the afternoon.
Well, we said that Andrew Collins coming into this side this afternoon will add potency. It certainly has. And on that occasion, he's just got that ability to find space. And he doesn't necessarily... Yeah, he just doesn't necessarily have to get the footy either. On that occasion, they did go to him. But on the other occasions leading up to that ball, they had him out and about. So their options are forward. Max Ted, we haven't really seen him. He did get involved early, but it's just offering that support down in the forward line for the Dragons. That's where they look most dangerous. Back into the middle, it'll be Golden Square that win it. Morecambe's in there. He battles hard. Ball spills out to the outer side wing. It might have been a throw, and looks like Jack Geary of the Dogs will get a free kick. Plays on quickly. He'll go. He's got a hard lead, and that was Burke, who just slid on his knees, slid into it. It was a perfect pass, perfect lead, and directly in front, 35 out. Burke will have a shot on goal to the city end.
Defensive act there, like for the Dragons. No one got in that hole. The ball got back to Geary, and no one was able to fall into that hole, and it allowed Burke just an easy run straight at it.
Burke now, directly in front. Kicks it long. It's going to fade. And, yes, it was a minor score. It didn't like the look of it off the boot. So they needed it, but didn't get it. 3-3-21 square. Sandhurst 5-7-37. 7 minutes gone. Second term. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Curnow from full-back. That is a massive kick. Nearly into the centre of the ground. Coughlin was up, couldn't take it. Ball at ground level. Picked up by Walsh. Threw it out. Got it on to Atarju, who got it out and gave it to a teammate. A kick around the corner. Just not Connick. Couldn't quite get it to a distance and cut off. Ends up with Geary. Through the corridor now. Heads out wide, though. Goes to the outer side. Bouncing ball. Can they get out there? Shelton picks it up for the Dogs. Turns. Goes down the wing. Good, strong contest on the outer side. Ball in dispute. No one can pick it up. Little punch back. Walsh picks it up. Then gets tackled. Under pressure. Breaking out of the pack was Toma for the Dogs. Kicks it inside 450. Big punch. Good defensive by Nelly. He was able to punch it away, but it's coming back. Going inside 450. Going back with the flight of the ball. And it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to the Dogs. and it's going to be the big man there in Hartley. Front on contact, Johnny, I think might have been the call from the umpire. And he'll take the kick from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle in front of the scoreboard here, where we see the Dragons lead 37-21 at the 8-minute mark of this second quarter. Comes in, bangs it on the boot. Hartley, can he kick the goal?
He does.
He does, and puts one through for the Dogs. He gets his first of the afternoon. They go to 4-3-27. They still trail the Dragons at this current time, 37 here. Footy Fresh is Bendigo live.
Different game by Curnow this week. He hasn't got it on his own terms, and he was under pressure when that ball came in quickly, and he just infringed. But it was the pressure up the field, starting to get involved in the game. Some of the old true and tried. Hamish Morgan in particular got involved in that passenger play, which was really good. He was offered support by Tom Tomer, and they're starting to move the ball a lot more freely. And
Jack Geary's coming, starting just to get a little bit of it as well, and then around the centre of it. Shut down card, charge you a little bit.
Yeah, and Hamish Morecambe has gone into the middle. It's a hurried kick out of the pack by Paul Pratt for the Dragons, but it went to Murley. Murley now, his kick is smothered. It'll skew wide. It goes to Tardrew. Tardrew of the Dragons, he'll put to half forward. He's got a player lurking. It was a beautiful kick. He spotted him up, and he's spotted up Stagg. Stagg by hand. Oh, sold some candy. Hosking, the big ruckman. It was absolutely sublime until he kicked it, went off the side of the boot. Did everything right except kick the goal and went out of bounds on the full by a long way. So
Typical of a big ruckman, isn't it?
yeah, well, his eyes lit up, didn't they?
Ah, well, he did. Saggy must have been thought he was someone else running past. He don't normally give it away to the big ruckman.
And it's Thrum. He'll kick it long to Compston. Back of the pack, Hosking. Fist on the ball. They'll kill it 50 metres out from goal. It was a good bit of work. And now we'll have another ball in. 37 playing 27. Dragons by 10. 9 3/4 minutes gone. Second term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Good quality footy at the moment. Ball thrown back in. Ruckman set themselves out the back. Hoskin, and then it came back to him. Got it, picked it up. Gave it off, though. Quick kick out of the pack. Might have been Tomer. Got it towards Curnow. Just used his body. Edged his play team opponent underneath and took a good, strong chest mark. Just chips it down the line. Wharton was the target. Gave it off to a teammate there in Nelly. He was under pressure, and eventually it came off the boot, and it was smothered over the line out of bounds for a throw-in forward for the Dragons.
Great game of footy on our hands here. 10-point margin. Dragons, 37. They lead 27. A lot of players around the footy. The square boys have all pushed up. There's no one in the forward arc as they're all defending. Whistle on play, and halfway between wing and left half forward. Sandhurst attacking. We'll have another ball up.
Yeah, ball in the air. Ruckman sets him. Hoskin takes it out of the ruck again, gave it off. Hartley just dropped probably what he should have taken up. Picked up by Geary. Tried to get the handball and give it to a teammate. Under pressure, going in hard there was Walsh. Also diving down was Wharton. It's going to be a free kick. Dive to in the back. And the free kick will go to Stewart for the Dogs. Centre wing, grandstand side. Trying to put them into attack. Just chips it down the line. One-on-one contest. Got over the back. Island used his body to get it back behind. Little chip in there from Freckleton. Gave it off to big man Burke. Then the run from behind coming there was Strosh. Couldn't quite get it. Kicked it off the side of the boot. Has it gone over the line out of bounds on the full? I think it might be, and it'll be a free kick, and it'll be taken by Bryce Curnow in the last line of defence for the Dragons. We have a 10-point ball game here at the nearly 12-minute mark of the second quarter. It's the Dragons by 10, and a deep in their defence, and Curnow goes bang and kicks it towards the grandstand.
All tied up at Neil Street, South Bendigo and Kyneton. It's in fact, it's Maryborough, Princess Park. It's 21 apiece. So Maryborough versus Kangaroo Flat, 3-3-21 apiece over at Princess Park. And speaking at Neil Street, 7-1-43 the Bloods. They lead the Tigers, 1-6-12. The Tigers fans got excited then, Brian, when I...
you had them up and about.
Yeah, I had them up and about. Just trying to, give them something to look forward to. Compston v Hosking spills to the front of the pack, hands and knees. Jack Geary, they're all on top of him. Whistle on play across right half forward. It was Paul Pratt that was on top of him. Umpire Norton umpiring his 500th game, not his 500th senior, but 500 game. Hosking grabs it out of the air, gives it to Nelly. Nelly of the Dragons stepped out of bounds. Umpire didn't blow his whistle till late. They all get involved. We'll have another ball in across half forward. It was Golden Square attack, 10-point margin. Dragons lead, 13 minutes gone, second term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Ball will be about thrown in, nearly centre wing, right in front of the grandstand here at the QEO. Played 13 minutes, second quarter. Ruckman set him. Hoskin got it down. Coughlin, that was James, tried to put his hands on it, couldn't quite get it. Now the big boys, they just wrestle it to the ground. There's a bit of push and shove as Jack Geary comes in. Just says, let Murley up. And a ball will be thrown in the air again. Oh, pulled out of the pack. No free kick. Murley gets hold of it. Tries to get the handball off. Does. Now they break the Dogs. It goes forward. Picked up there by Morecambe. Turned. Banged it on the boot. Put it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Good work, though. Read it well was Curnow. Little one over the top. Now they need to get it in and out of trouble. Oh, slipping. Got it over to Wharton. Over the top to James Coughlin. Coughlin out to Nelly. Nelly bouncing ball. Tries to keep it in. Oh, got a high tackle. Umpire didn't see it. And unbelievable as and Ross, my good man, mate, goes there. Yeah, it was a free kick. And the umpire off the ball has actually seen it.
Tanner Nelly, Dragons, boundary line, in front of us, commentary box. He'll go defensively backwards to Curnow, who's on defensive arc of 50. Curnow now, inboard, corridor, poor kick, intercept by Burke. Burke of the Dogs. He swings and goes. He'll go to the top of the square. Morecambe, the jumping jack's taking a specky. Hamish Morecambe, he was like, well, Royce Hart. It was Royce Hart style. Some of the younger generation might say who Royce Hart was, but absolutely magnificent.
He has got that uncanny ability to get up off the ground and take an absolute screamer.
He was always going to mark that, Brian, wasn't he? He just got a little bit of space and he got a bit a distance on his opponent and will kick a goal. Hamish Morecambe, that was a good result. Well, they tighten it up here now, 5-3-33, and it is 5-7-37 Dragons. Halfway through this second term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, it's just the little turnover into the corridor, and then all of a sudden they're going inside forward 50. Burke put it up in the air, saw the man that normally can jump, and he can jump, this big Morecambe Hamish. He has been a long time stalwart of being able to jump on top of people's head around the Bendigo Footy League, and he didn't let us down and goes back and salutes right through the middle, off the pack. Ball in dispute. Tarju just stepped out, did really well. Went one way, went the other. Blind turn, got it back inside forward 50. Ball over the back of the pack. Who's going to be first there? Stagg can't take hold of it. Ball pressure from behind there was from Barrett from the Dogs and forced it over the line out of bounds for a throw-in about 35 metres around from the Dragons' goal.
They attack to the Barnard Street end. Dragons, things have settled now. It's tightened right up. 4-point margin. They still hold the lead. Hosking, he's been good against Compton. On that occasion, though, it wasn't Compton, it's Freckleton that's offering some support. Be interesting to see how the young man goes. Hurried kick off the ground by Wharton of the Dragons. Coe intercepts. He's tackled hard. Good work by Coughlin, and he will be rewarded for incorrect disposal. And Sandhurst, Coughlin is going to get a shot at goal. And this is James Coughlin, because Lee is not playing, of course.
The old man's injury. Sore calf.
Sore calf. Now, this will be, if he kicks this goal, he's well within distance. He's deep in the pocket. He's hard up against the fence. He's on the wrong side for a right footer. He's going to kick a drop punt. Kicks through the footy and missed it. He clapped, but it was one of those claps in frustration as if he missed by a mile. In fact, he did. He just snuck it in for a minor score. So increases the lead to 5 behinds. 5-8-38 Sandhurst, 5-3-33 the square. 17 gone. Second term, Footy Fresh with Bendigo Football Live.
Dogs from fullback. They'll go to the outer side. They do. They chip it over the top. Find a target in that forward pocket. Running on. Hitting it was Hickman. Howe under pressure, had to bang it on the boot and get it out to half-back. They throw it around, a couple of little quick kicks. That was Hartley. Go back. Oh, Morecambe strong again and takes a good strong mark on centre wing on the outer side. plays on quickly, comes to the corridor, had a player running through the centre of the ground. That was Do Good. Do Good inside forward 50, running back with a flight of the ball. Good work, though. Good defence by the Dragons and a good punch off there by Hood. Puts it over the line and through for a minor score. Well, that was good transition footy, end to end from the Dogs. 5-8-38 Dragons, 5-4-34 as Curnow got it in and they play on and get it to halfback.
Maxted was the recipient. He kicked it straight to the opposition again to Coe. Coe, he's got Murley. Murley 65 out. Took an uncontested chest mark for the Dogs. Right half forward. Short pass. That's okay. Spotted up a player. Too far out to score. It is Stewart. Jack Stewart. Right in front of the Golden Dragons. I'll look over his right shoulder. It's too far. Doesn't have any movement. A lot of players inside forward 50. Pops it up to Murley. He was strong enough to mark a ball in front of his eyes, and the distance still will test him because he stands at, he'll kick it from 50. Man on the mark, Coughlin stands at 42. Still in the Golden Dragons pocket. Zave Murley. Slow and deliberate. He's a right footer. Crosses the paint. Goes to the hot spot. Not sure if he meant to kick it to that direction, and I reckon he did because it's the Dragons. Hood takes it, and he'll play on quickly. Short pass, Conforti.
Sam Conforti got a little one over the top, finds Andrew Collins. They get it out to the defensive 50. Collins now looks into the corridor. He's going to go down the line. Finds a leading Walsh. Gives it off to Tarju. Over the top, running. Under pressure, need to get the kick away. Did he, Mills, get a high tackle? He did. I think... no, it's not Mills. It's Smith, Cooper Smith, who will take the free kick in the centre of the ground for the Dragons. Just might have got one a little high. From behind, run comes, but nothing there. Smith now plays on, decides and kicks it straight into the man on the mark. Now under pressure, the ball in dispute, picked up by Kerner. Oh, good work, the big man. Bent down, picked it up, kicked it inside forward 50, big pat, front square, but it's coming for Thornton, who's taken a good, strong pack mark in the middle of 2 or 3 players, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal. And, well, just probably give them a little bit of breathing space here or deep into this second quarter, just before half-time. We've just hit a red time as Thornton will kick it from 45 metres out, nearly directly in front. Comes in, gets the 45, bangs it on the boot, pulls it through, and that's another one to the Dragons. They go to 6-8-44. They lead the Dogs 5-4-34 at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, it was Cooper Smith that started it in the middle. His bustling play. He was strong through the hips. The initial kick was smothered, but he was good enough to back it up, and then it was just textbook footy in the end. A good, strong, hard lead. Matty Thornton marked it. Really contested, strong
contested mark that was too, Johnny. He was able to, in that pack, like 3 or 4 around, and get his third for the afternoon. So he's had a very, very productive first half here at the QEO.
So they're going to go forward again here, the Dragons. A socket kick comes to the outer side wing, in fact, broadcast side. Tardrew got a player breaking for him, honours a lead, kicks it to Stagg. Stagg takes the mark, 45-degree angle.
Too far out for Stagg, I reckon. He's right on his limit, I reckon. Right on his limit.
So Stagg, let's see what he can do with the ball. He should, in all honesty though, Brian, he should kick that, shouldn't he?
Well, yeah, he's not as... hasn't got the leg he used to have. Put it this way. He's a little older now, Johnny. A bit like you and me.
Well, let's see what Nick Stagg does with the ball. I'm going to back him from here. Takes a step in. He's going to... Well, the distance won't be a problem. In fact, it is. It's goal line.
Oh!
Hurry kick out of the pack, but Golden Square, they defend. And she's probably fortunate there, which a hurry kick goes out of bounds on the full. And now it'll be Sandhurst. They'll get a free kick, and they'll get another chance to kick it deep inside 450.
They certainly will. I mean, it's gone over the line, out of bounds on the full. And the Dragons will go back inside 450. Kicking it inside, not hitting the target, got over the back, Stagg gave it off, found Walsh, got into trouble, couldn't quite get it. Now the Dogs banging it on the boot, they put it out, now he can't pull it in. Good, a really good strong mark Now gave it off. Had to go the 1-2. Was under pressure. Now bangs it on the boot. Is it coming back? No one can take the mark here. He's got it. Up hand. Ball to ground. Tied up. And the umpire says, no, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Right on the arc of 50. We played 22 and a half minutes in this second quarter. It's a 10-point ball game. Was there a whistle on play? There was. And it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to Matty Compston for the Dogs.
Down at the Camp Reserve, the Magpies trail 4-1-25 to the Storm 9-13-67. And the source I take with that, Brian, is that Castlemaine historically would be 100 points down by now. So they've certainly improved. Hickman received. He goes into the middle to Dogood of the Dogs. Just forward of centre. He's got a player breaking from as well. Honours the lead, but it's a kick that was just too severe for Brodie James. Goes towards the boundary line and over it goes, 60 metres out around from the Golden Square goal. It's 44 playing 34. 10-point margin. Also at South Bendigo. South Bendigo leads 7-1-43 to Kyneton. 2-9-21 at Neil Street. Still 70 out for goal. Golden Square, hands and knees. Hickman doing well. Umpires letting it go. It spills to Compston. Hurried kick. And Lux of Fortune, he's hit Vaz, who's first sighted this afternoon, really, has taken a chest mark. Probably wasn't orchestrated, but he was in the right spot, Brian, and he'll reap the rewards.
Yeah, well, it was just probably a poor handball in the end. You know, it should have probably kept it in. It allowed it to get it on the outside, and then once it got on the outside, it just a quick kick away from the puck. And Vass, well, he was the one that was in front, and he was able to take an easy chest mark.
Well, he's where you should be as a forward, and will give Golden Square a chance to tighten up this 10-point margin. Oh, it's not going to make the distance. I don't know what happened then. It was probably an unrealistic attempt by Burke at the back of the pack for the Dogs. It come off his hands and goes through from minor score. Golden Square 5-5-35. They trail 6-8-44 Dragons. 24 and a half gone. Second term, footy fresh. Is Bendigo Football Live.
Kerno from fullback again, goes out long and wide, finds a teammate there, and I think that's the Dragons over that Farganelli. Takes the mark, kicks it down the wing. Big pack forms over the back, punched to the defence. Picked up by the Dogs, up and under. Who can stand underneath that play on? No, it's not. Picked up by Coghlan. Good work. Gives it off to Paul Pat. He goes inside forward 50. Collins dropped probably what he should have taken. Do good. Picked it up off the pack for the Dogs. Gave it out wide. Now they bang it on the wall, on the boot. Got it to centre wing. Ball in dispute. Got tackled. Dogs now run over the top. Good work by Nelly. Gave it off. Eden Walsh was able to intercept. Big hands by Coe. Gave it over the top. They bang it on the boot. Put it inside forward 50. Right on the arc. Picked up there by the man Murley. Couldn't quite take it. Ball still in dispute. 55 metres out. Eventually the umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up here on the outer side of the QEO. 25 nearly and a half minutes gone. It's the Dragons leading 44-35 here deep into this second quarter. And footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Good work, Moran. Dragons gives it to Coghlan by hand in his defensive zone. Short pass was intercepted. Good punch. Dogs, now they'll be able to butt it up through Morecambe. Morecambe gives it off to a teammate who'll go shallow inside forward 50. 1-on-1. Or it might have been held without the footy was Brett. Umpire let it go. Now there's two Dragons there. One is Mills. Mills coughed it up. He gave it straight to the opposition in Stewart. Now they're coughing it up to Nelly for the Dragons. Also getting involved was Tardrew. Series of errors deep inside the forward zone. Brett picks it up. Stumbles to his hands and knees. Gets one's two hands. I reckon he'd stumbled before he got one too high. Umpire Caldwell probably wasn't in the right position and couldn't see where we could see. Probably a little fortunate. Doesn't matter. Brett's going to have a shot at goal for his fourth of the afternoon.
And this is what they did in the first quarter. They got those late goals to get him back right in the game, looking for his fourth of the afternoon in Joel Brett. Big kick here. 27 minutes gone, Johnny, and this one to get it back within, 2 points.
Oh, back Joel Brett from here to the city end. Crosses 50. He'll kick it at 41. Starts it wide, and I gave him the commentator's curve. He actually dropped that funny. Did you notice? It didn't kick it straight.
It never landed on the boot very nicely.
44 playing 36. Sandhurst lead. 27 gone. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Kernow from fullback, just organising his players, swiping in the air, telling him to get to the outer side. He plays on, runs long, bangs it on the boot. Big pack out the other side. Oh, big mark by the Dragons on the outer side. And that was, is it Kotick? I'm not quite sure, but the Dragons took a really, really nice mark. There was Maxted. Maxted now bangs it on the boot, puts it to half forward. Ball in dispute, though, and then Toma picks it up, kicks it down the wing. That was, well, it went about 13 metres, I reckon, if that, and it was paid a free kick. Still, the Dogs, they have it. They come in towards the centre of the ground. Nicely done, and Hartley takes the mark for the Dogs.
Hurries, kicks it long. Vaz is the target, running with the flight of the ball. Dragons, O'Kerno took a brave mark, had players looming deep in the back pocket, directs traffic for the Dragons. Now he looks to go and runs, dumps it beyond 50. It's a long ball. Compston, he's at the front of the pack, but goes beyond him. Picked up, well, a lot of players around the footy. It was picked up by Conforti. He couldn't find space and stepped over the line, and we'll have a ball in.
Got the board up here in front of us. What's that say, Johnny? I can't see the other side of it. They got the boards like the AFL?
Well, we wouldn't be able to understand it anyway. They have batteries and funny codes and whatever going. As Hosking grabs out of the air, Dragons. His handball is smothered. Walsh overruns the footy. Dragons. Hurried kick out of the pack. Compston of the Dogs. 50 up and 10 forward. Umpire plays on. Another high ball up the chimney by Joel Brett. This time it goes inside forward 50 as the siren sounds for half time. There was a kick. It goes out of bounds on the full. I don't think it would have counted anyway, but that gives us our final score for the first half. Not the final score, but which is 6-8-44. Sandhurst, they lead Golden Square 5-6-36. And this contest, it's intriguing to say the least, I reckon, Brian.
Oh, it certainly is. It's up and down the ground. Both sides have used the ball. They run and carry. The Dragons have looked a little bit better when they've been able to move it, but they're just not hitting targets when they need to. The Dogs, on the other hand, they've been able to just keep scrapping and fighting and doing, that hard stuff. Their tackling's been sensational all day, I think, the Dogs, and put the pressure on the Dragons. They haven't been able to just freely run up and down the ground.
Yeah, I think Golden Square have still got another gear. Sandhurst, on the other hand, I think they've played really well in patches, and then they've just turned off a bit. So, excuse me, it's probably a good chance for both teams to go and settle now at half time. And it will be a case of who comes out into this second half and who settles the most and plays, well, obviously the better football, but, really hits their straps.
Well, it's the class on one side. When you look at Tarju, Conforti, and the players, Coughlin just started to come into it in that quarter. Max did take it a few marks, hasn't really done a lot as yet. The big fella in Hoskin has been probably in control in the ruck. Probably Compston needs to make sure that he really does contest and don't allow him to take that easy ball out of the ruck and just give the handballs off to those players. But Morecambe's been really good for the Dogs as well. Down forward, though, Brett Burke has been good. Obviously, Joel Brett kicking 3 in that first half has been really good. But then on the other hand, you got Thornton down the other end who's kicked 3 for the Dragons. They have struggled to have a really key forward stand up and take some good, strong marks. But look, it's been a good game of footy so far, and I'm thrilled to see which way it's going to go in that second half.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
For the Hawks, for the Dogs, they've got 4 to half time. So Fox, Clough, Zach Dennehy and Braden Blake kicking a goal late in that opening term. But it's been all the Hawks here on the footy field. They lead at half-time by 53 points in the A-grade netball, which has just completed. It was a big win as well to Gisborne. So they did get one of the 2 senior wins on the day, 49 goals to 26. So a very comprehensive win for the Gizzy A-grade netball team, probably as expected, really. And so far, it's been a pretty comprehensive performance from Eagle Hawk in the senior footy. Second half is a bit seconds away, Johnny. You'll hear the siren in the background right now as the ball's being tossed in the air by Dean Goodrich for the start of the second half of the senior match.
Okay, Joel, we'll check in after the game and see whether the Gisborne Bulldogs can make a better showing of the second half.
Cheers, mate.
Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Joel Peterson down there at the graveyard. As we get things underway here for the second half, here's Brian Mansbridge.
Ball up in the middle and knocked down. Dragons coming out away. Going to be a free kick, is it? Going back to the Dragons. And it will be Walsh who will go inside forward 50 coming out or trying to get their big contest there. Was the man in Maxted, couldn't try to take it. Ball gone to ground level. And eventually it's going to be the umpire who says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up 45 metres out from the Dragons' goal. The Dragons kicking towards the city end here in this third quarter. We're just underway. They lead 44 to 36, and the ball is thrown in the air.
Jack Geary wins it. He wins it comprehensively, but kicked it straight to Connick of the Dragons across half forward. He'll have a free kick. Good young player, son of the coach. He goes by hand. Curnow runs for him. Then Curnow into the pocket. It was a poor kick. Goes to the back of the pack. Overrung the footy was too good. He made an error. Paul Pratt put it on the outside of the boot. Nilly kicked a miraculous goal. And Nilly was the word of the afternoon. As it was 6-9-45 now, Sandhurst. They lead Golden Square 5-6-36. A minute gone. Third term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Drum plays on. Gives it off to Do Good. He bangs it on the boot. Puts it on the other side. Got over the back. Plenty of Dragons. Plenty of Bulldogs. And Tarju ends up with it. He goes over the top looking for Walsh. Bouncing ball. Good work, though, by Monty, who just pushed him off the ball. Was able to grab it. Bangs it on the boot, gets it down the line, bouncing in front of the defence there of Hood for the Dragons, over the line out of bounds. And it will be thrown in centre wing. Well, probably just attacking side of centre wing on the other side of the QEO here. We've played just on 2 minutes, and it is 45 plays 36. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
It'll be Constant versus Hosking. He's got a big body. He uses against Constant. Well, so is Constant as well, but it was just the strength. Tardru, he makes space. He kicks it shallow inside forward 50. Paul Pratt at the back of the pack. Good, strong tackling. Thrum there. Offer support for the Dogs. He's away. One bounce. Little give over the top. Effective. Running in numbers. Barrett. Now he goes long. Kicks it straight to Curnow of the Dragons, and he'll be able to send it back for whence it come across half back for the Dragons.
Chips it over the top. Little one out wide. At Conforti now, just a little chip and finds Collins. Andrew plays on towards the centre of the ground, comes down the corridor, going inside forward 50. Paul Pratt comes out and takes the mark. Probably going to have to kick from outside. Has the bare man of Collins. He bangs it on the boot. Lead coming out and taking Maxted a very easy mark in front of his eyes. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Just working harder, they are, the Dragons in the middle of it as well. Cooper Smith in particular, he's really puffing out the big ones. Not only running well offensively, but defensively as well. And it was his hard running that really caused that work, as well as Connett there as well.
Coming in now, Maxted. Cody Maxted comes in, gets to 35 metres. Oh, it just didn't drop it right on the boot, and it's gone to the right-hand side of the post through for another minor score. 6:10:46. The Dragons lead. Golden Square 5:6:36 back out to that 10-point margin here at the 3.5-minute mark of the third quarter.
Now, he's kicked 100 more goals than me, but that's the second time he hasn't dropped that ball straight. Did you notice that?
Yep.
I don't know. I wonder if a little bit of an anomaly is opening to his game. Well, that's just the norm, and he's been able to hide it. But certainly it wasn't textbook, as you would say. Hartley off half-back, Golden Square, goes to half-forward. They're running in numbers now. James and Hickman getting involved. Short inside forward 50, but it was a poor result in the end. Now it's the Dragons. Noah Walsh, he's stood his ground, probably didn't quite have his hands on it enough. Can 40 off his support, but it might be a free kick for too high around the ear.
No, it's going to be holding the ball.
Holding the footy, is it? Yep. Hickman with the footy for the Dogs, and he'll have a chance to send the Dogs deep into forward attack.
Smith took a good mark there, but just couldn't hit the target. Now they go inside forward 50. Hickman can't get the mark. Oh, running through Murley. Had support, running into an open goal and kicking it in. A real easy one was Stewart for the Dogs. And that is the first of the third quarter. And James Stewart for the Dogs. Jack Stewart kicks his first of the afternoon. And that will get it back to a 4-point ball game here at the QEO. It is the Dragons 6:10:46, still leading Golden Square 6:6:42 for nearly 5 minutes gone in the third quarter. And that was just a little bit too easy.
Oh, they had the runners again, didn't they, Golden Square? And I noticed that Dave Murley, he wasn't the target in that in the goal square, but it enabled the others to get their hands on the footy, and it was Stewart the one that was nominated in the end. But it was that weight of numbers again, and we've seen that with Sandhurst as well. When they all push forward and they've got options, they seem to be able to kick more goals freely. As Hosking wins the tap, gives it by hand to Conforti. He fumbled it. Monty, hands and knees. Dogs. Walsh tries to intercept. He fumbles. Who's going to... Well, it's going to be who fumbles the least, and it's now going to be a free kick to Conforti. Dragons, top of the square. Thornton's the target, and why wouldn't he be? He's clucked them all afternoon. He's taken a mark. He's only 25 metres out. Not much of an angle, and Matty Thornton will line them up for his fourth, Brian.
Yes, he's coming in for his fourth of the afternoon, and that was a just good play by the Dragons. They had numbers and then just, lowered the eyes and saw Thornton coming out. And why wouldn't you kick it to the big man? He's been, as you said, clunking them all afternoon.
This is the best game I've seen a long time with Matty Thornton. He'll kick this goal. Don't you worry about that. For his fifth of the afternoon. Fourth, sorry. Fifth.
You're going ahead.
I'm going ahead. Well, the way he's going, Brian, I reckon he could, because every time they go forward, he looks like he's going to clunk it, which he did on that occasion, and popped it through for a little bit of a steadier to take Sandhurst to 7:10:52. 10-point margin, 6:6:42. Golden Square, 6.5 gone. Third term, footy fresh. Is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, again, just it gets, they get one back, the Dogs, and then all of a sudden, the Dragons have just been able to push it back to a 10-point margin and keep that 10-point margin for most of the time. But it's a good game of footy, up and down the ground. Ball thrown back in the middle. Hoskin up in the middle. Again, grabs it. Has Tarju on the outside. Got the handball there. Conforti's there. Got pushed it back. No free kick. Tarju ran through, picked it up, got tackled, brought to ground level. And it's going to be a free kick. Pushing it back. And 50-metre penalty. It's going all the way. The Dragons are getting the free kick, and Tarju will go virtually at the top of the square, and he will kick the goal from directly in front. Well, it's going right back to the line. It was probably just on the line, so it is. And Lockie Tarju puts another one through for the Dragons, and they just get the score out to a 16-point lead now. A free kick, and then all of a sudden there was an extra little bit of hustle and bustle, and the Dragons get another one. 8:10:58. They lead Golden Square 6:6:42, 7.5 gone. Third quarter, Johnny.
Well, we thought the Golden Square were asleep in the first 10 minutes of the opening term, and it's just a mirror image. It's like Groundhog Day. They've come out here after half-time, and they are asleep, and Sandhurst making the most of it. They're just running in waves, and you can see, Golden Square did kick a goal a little bit earlier, but it just seems to be that Sandhurst, they're more switched on at the moment. So
stop Hoskin doing what he's doing in the ruck. He's grabbing it out and giving Tarju and Conforti first use of the ball, because they're just running forward, and he's just banging it forward.
Yeah, and look,
again.
He did. He's just using his big body now. Soccer out of the ground. It will be good work by Paul Pratt. He puts it to the top of the square. Pushing again. Coughlin. He handballs it just beyond 50. Back to Paul Pratt. A left footer. Collins is the target. Big fist. See your players amongst it. They're under pressure here, the Dogs. They need to be careful. It's pushed to the boundary line. They're going to keep it in underneath the scoreboard. It is shoveled out. A lot of players around the footy. Umpire, it's either going to be a throw up or a throw in. It's going to be the latter. It will be a throw-in underneath the scoreboard. 58-42, Sandhurst lead, 9 minutes, third term. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Deep into attack again, in front of the scoreboard, out of side of the QEO. Ball thrown back in. Oh, well, Hosking took it out of the ruck again. Gave the handball off, couldn't hit the target. Coughlin burst through the pack. Can he get it on the boot? Runs towards goal and kicks another one. Coughlin just attacked the ball, went straight through the middle of the pack and was able to just control it. Broke through and walked through probably 2 or 3 tacklers. Then James Coughlin kicks one, his first of the afternoon. The Dragons get their 9th. They go to 9-10-64. They lead Golden Square 6-6-42. 9.5 gone third quarter. And this is just starting to break open a little bit, Johnny.
Well, what it was a hurried kick to the hot spot. It might have been Coughlin that kicked the goal, but Wharton and Tardrew were lurking, so there was 3 of them, and they actually almost had to raffle it in the end, and that's where defensively Golden Square are being let down. They've let the forwards in there just running right. Again, Collins looks dangerous, but hasn't had his hands on the football. Does that make sense?
No.
As they go back into the middle, and again, Hosking used his body. I think Compson just doesn't know how to quite play him. He's looking at trying to jump over the top, and he can't. It's a hurried kick by Hickman. Goes to nobody. It does go to somebody. In fact, it's the Dragons. They will go forward. Oh, big fly from behind. It was Wright, who kicked 5 last week, hasn't hit the scoreboard today, but also another target down there across half forward. Whistle on play. Umpire Norton, in his 500th football game as an umpire this afternoon, will ball it up. 64 playing 42. Dragons have got this one at the moment.
Yeah, well, out of the ruck again. Hoskin just pulls it out, tries to get it over. Now under pressure. Good tackle by the Dragons. They're putting him under heaps of pressure. Running through the pack there was James for the Dogs. Gave it off to a teammate. Too good. Just banged it on the boot. Got it to centre wing, but it's coming back. Hands out. Good work by Smith. Picked it up at ground level. Banged it on the left boot. Put it towards Collins. Running towards the pack. Coughlin, though. Here's front square. Tries to pick it up. Burst out of the pack. Got tackled. Brought to ground. Went out towards Wharton. Unable to pick it up. Dogs there. Thrum trying to make sure that it doesn't come out of the pack, and he has done that. Hickman was there as well for the Dogs, and eventually the umpire said, give it a man, I'll ball it up right on the archipel.
Oh, I'm impressed what I'm seeing with the Dogs here. They are running. They are a pack of Dragons as they work hard again. 48 out from goal. We'll have another ball up. Wow. I think they're a bit shell-shocked here, the Dogs, just at the moment, as Hosking, it's all starting from him. He's just bustling, uses his body, didn't win it on that occasion. It's spent to the wing, but under pressure again are the Dogs. Hurried kick off the ground by Geary. Didn't have time to pick it up. Follows up his ball, out of side wing. They dive on the footy, throw a blanket over a dozen players. And I might be exaggerating a little bit, Brian, but there's a lot of them.
No, it was good work by Paul Pratt and also Liam Ireland for the Dragons, because if it had came out there, Jack Geary was on his bike, ready to run past to get an easy handball, and they were able to just keep it in there. Again, Hosking out of the ruck, gets hold of it, bangs it inside forward 50, coming up and taking a good smart, though, was Shrum for the Bulldogs on the outer side in front of the scoreboard in defence. 35, 40 metres out. Now he comes directly across the ground looking for Strosh, who takes the mark. Strosh now comes down the grandstand side. He has to go back with the flight of the ball, and going back and taking a really good strong mark was Coe, who gave it off, gave it to Constant, gave it to Geary. Geary then gave it through. That was Vass, gave it to Geary. Geary couldn't hit the target. Eventually, it's just forced over the line, and again, it'll be a throw in the half back for the Dragons. And, a good football there from the Dogs, but just couldn't quite finish it off with hitting a target going inside forward.
Now, what the Bulldogs have done, they're trying to put pressure up forward. They've put Compton right on the goal line to try to put pressure up the field on Hosking, but they've got to get it down there. Now it's Coughlin of the Dragons. He goes and he finds a teammate in Hood. In fact, it might be Maxted. It's the ladder. Maxted, short parks to Ureta on 49. And he's got Walsh. He goes direction. He's in the corridor. Poor defensive play, Bulldogs. And if they're not careful, they've got Stagg running as well, the Dragons, but ignores it. But getting back to Compston just to try to bring him into the game. Nally has picked him up going forward, but I don't think it's going to work because he's just too influential up the field, Hosking at the moment.
Yep, they put Vass in the ruck trying to nullify the big man in Hoskin, and they haven't been able to do it.
Let's see, Noah Walsh directly in front from 48. It won't make the distance, spreads wide. In fact, it does, but goes through for a minor score. He was always stretched and wasn't going to be. 13 minutes gone, third term. Sandhurst 9-11-65. They lead Golden Square 6-6-42. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
From fullback. Scott Strosh in the pocket, ignores that, decides to go to the outer side where he had a teammate who was able to take an easy mark in Morecambe. Chips it back over to Thrum. Now he's under pressure, has to get it on the boot, kicks it outside to the centre wing. Big pack forms. Good work, though, by Kerno, who just put the fist in it and banged it over the line for another throw-in on the outer side of the QEO here at the moment, where we see the Dragons 9-11-65 leading Golden Square 6-6-42. 14 and a half minutes gone. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Oh, we've got an upset brewing at Princess Park.
Ooh.
Maryborough, they haven't won a game since the war, but they're 5-12-42 against
it was the First World War, first, Johnny.
to 5-5-35, so 7-point margin. No, that's interesting there because we all thought the Kangaroo Flat had improved markedly. So we are back here at the QEO where it's 65 playing 42. Dragons lead. It's on left half forward. Dragons attack out of side against the boundary line and we'll have a ball up. So that'd be an upset, wouldn't it, Brian? Surely.
Surely it would be. Kangaroo Flat would. You would think they would have went down there with a little bit of confidence and making sure that they got a win this afternoon, but under pressure and haven't been able to step up. And well. Is it going to be an upset, Johnny? We'll have to wait and see as the ball is thrown up on the outer side. Dogs and the Dragons coming through, head down. Dogs win it, chip forward, found a teammate. That was Bass who takes it, gives it out wide, and they're going to go inside forward 50, Jono.
In they go. Good punch there defensively by the Dragons. It was Mills. Mills did well. And there's the difference. The Dragons, in fact, the Bulldogs might get a free kick, they do, but I was going to say the defensive work of the Dragons is better in this quarter, but it's going to be Joel Brett, who was offended against. I reckon he might have got one under the chin, just a little one. And
love tap.
Yeah, kickable for Joel Brett. He, pretty tight angle, 45-degree angle.
Johnny, looking for number 4.
Will cross the paint mark of 50. Distance won't be a problem. And his kicking is letting him down this afternoon. In fact, that didn't make the distance either. Good punch, Tanner Nally from the Dragons. Minor score, 65 playing 43, 16 minutes gone. Third term, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Kerno, pull back, sees a target. Stagg is that target. Played together last year up in the Central Murray at Kerrang. Got a premiership. Now they're back at the Dragons. Now long kick. Collins forces his man coming in from the side. Tarju over the top, took a good strong mark. Collins would have taken it, but the smaller man decided, no, I'm going to jump over the top and take this. Kicks it forward now, 1-2. Smith under trouble. He runs away, runs to the arc of 50, bangs it inside, going back with the flight of the ball was the man. Walsh can't, steps in, gives the handball up, but it's going to be turned over, is it? Ball off the ground. Thrum picks it up, has to handball it back, gave it directly off. He's opponent in Maxted and he banged it through. The Dragons get something from nothing again and put another one on the board. And I'm pretty sure it was Maxted. It was an errant handball from Thrum. And Maxted, I think, has slapped it up and he's thrown it on the boot and put it through. The Dragons go to 10-11-71. They lead the Dogs 6-7. 43, 17 and a half gone. Third quarter here at the QEO.
Well, Brian, they're actually consoling Harrison Burke. So they were both in the area. But Harrison Burke, it was just the pressure he was under. He was at the top of the square. He gathered the ball, which was loose. He was basically on his hands and knees trying to get up, and he just handballed it under pressure and handballed it straight to Maxted. And Maxted said, thank you very much. I'm going to pop it through. So
that was easy.
Yeah, it was a turnover, a costly turnover, as Hosking wins it. Too much body. It was too much body for Freckleton. Freckleton now gets up Ginger, and he's sore. Bulldogs will gather, though, on the wing. Spread. Ball is to Stewart. Stewart now. Short pass. Over the top. Murley. had to work, but marked it in front of his eyes.
Been
Now
all right
turns.
early, I thought, for
Yeah.
the day. He's been one of Bulldogs' better players.
Short pass, Geary receives. That was a 30-metre ball. Now he's forward of centre wing. Geary into the pocket. He kicked it straight to the opposition in Nelly. He couldn't have called for it anymore, and Nelly of the Dragons in the back pocket will have a free kick. Mark, rather.
And in front of the pool side change rooms, ball down the line. It's come off the pack there of Tarju and Jack Geary over the line, centre wing, slightly into attack for the Dogs, and it'll be a throw-in here deep there. Now the big men will Crompston back in the ruck against the big man in Hosking. We'll watch this with intent. He's had a little spell. The big man Hoskins been at it all day. Again, he pushes him underneath the ball. They've got numbers again. Coughlin off the pack, runs through the centre of the ground. Long, inside forward 50. Maxted was got caught behind, couldn't quite get it. Put a good contest on, and, he's...
Hickman's in a bit of trouble. He got one in the kidneys, I think.
I think he's up there, though.
In fact, it's Thrum, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's...
No, it's Thrum, yeah.
Yeah, Thrum stood underneath. Now a little chip out, finds Coe. Coe looks into the centre of the ground, finds another teammate. They're able to get this one going now. They run through the centre of the ground through Reeves. He hits the target out there to Dogood. Dogood goes wide and finds a teammate on the far side in Barrett.
Barrett now, short pass, ineffective, kicked it straight to Connick. I seem to be calling this all the time. It's like the opposition are calling for it and they're giving it up. Connick, uncontested, received and said, thank you. Dragons, back pocket now. He sends it beyond 50, outer side, swimming pool side, bouncing footy. Dogood's in the area. He collects, handball, hurried under pressure along the line. Will they keep it in? Reeves tries to. In fact, it's Vaz. He can't, and will have a ball in across half forward. So, Dogs making some errors without any pressure, really. Maybe that's just a combination of the pressure that they've been under, and they're seeing things and jumping at things that aren't there at the moment. Dogs need to compose. Hosking against Compston. Compston needs to lift. That ball was uncontested. It bounced in the end. Noah Walsh emerges. Handballs. That was okay to Will Moran. He gives it off to a teammate in Conforti. Conforti sends it long to the outer side wing. It's a foot race. Coe is there. Loses his feet. And then at the bottom of the pack, that was a throw. Stagg, he held it up in the air and then punched it like a volleyball spike. You can't do that. Umpire didn't see it. Over the top. Conforti. Here come the Dragons again. He'll look to get on the left. He's got time and space, and he goes long into the goal square.
Too far. I thought he was just one step. I was just about to say he's in trouble, and he just held it on one step too much.
I was just about to go off because Thornton marked it again in the goal square.
I didn't want you to get too excited. Free kick, Jack Geary, out of sight, in front of the scoreboard, deep into their defence. He just has to bang it on the boot, puts it to centre wing, big pack forms. Vass was there, couldn't take the mark. Ball punched over the line, out of bounds. Throw in just attacking side of centre wing for the Dragons here at the QEO. It's 71, plays 43, 21 and a half gone in this third quarter. The Dragons piling on a few goals and being able to get themselves into a comfortable lead. Crompston setting himself. Hoskin this time, he pushed him out of it, but he was able to. Running onto it, picking it up there was Reeves. Couldn't quite hold it. Was able to keep it in. Numbers with, picked up by the Monty now for the Dogs. Kicks it inside forward 50. Can they cut it off again? Going back, Hartley takes a good strong mark for the Dogs. Deep in the pocket, in front of the change rooms on the pool side. He would be probably a metre inside the boundary line. He'll kick it from about 40 metres out. Very, very difficult set shot, but can he get it there? Left footer on the right side for a left footer. Bangs it towards goal. Has he put it through? He has missed it by the millimetre and through for a minor score. 6-7, 6-8 should be, I think.
I think so, yep.
6-8, 43.
Well, they've given it a goal. Well, they've given that a goal. Actually, I thought they they gave a little bit of a half celebration, but for the goal it was, he was standing on the boundary line and he's popped it through, and they didn't get excited at all then.
Well, I thought I saw the umpire go one hand up, but I must have missed the other. He must have been hiding behind.
He only gave the one finger.
It's a goal, 7-7, 49. Something from nothing for the Dogs. The Dragons 10, 11, 71, 22 and a half, nearly 23 minutes, and it's a free kick in the middle of the ground. It's going to go to the big man in Compston in the middle of the ground.
He gives it off, and now they're going through Monty. Monty to Murley by hand. Murley inside forward 50. Poor kick. Nelly. He collects. He gives it to Hood. Hood over the top to Curnow. Curnow under pressure. Dragons bangs it on the left and bangs it out of bounds on the full. I'll tell you what, if Golden Square don't celebrate that goal that he kicked down there for Hartley, he was standing on the boundary line and they just went meh.
Anything.
They just went meh. He's just kicked a goal. So let's look what's happening with the Dragons. They've got possession with Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt by hand. Will Moran receives. Short pass. Andy Collins. He let it bounce. Then he gets it in the bread basket and he'll go to the corridor. He was looking for Maxted, but Reeves did well. He gives it to Monty of Golden Square. They'll send it back the other way. Murley, hands and knees. Good tackling though, Dragons. Jack Geary at the bottom of the pack. And you're right, Zave Murley has done well. He's tied that ball up, and they're halfway between the centre and half forward for the Dragons, who are now attacking.
Hoskin out of the ruck, knocks it towards Tarju. He's just fumbled a little bit, but picks it up, get the handball out. Running onto it, there was the Dragons kicking it inside, and Collins has taken a mark. And that was a very nice...
poor checking.
And around the corner had a little man in Conforti, is it, just running forward and just been able to get there and take a mark 35 metres out directly in front, and Sam Conforti will go back and have a shot on goal and nullify the goal that the Dogs have just kicked. And running down that far side, I'm pretty sure it was Moran who got that in towards Collins. Conforti comes directly in. Oh, he just didn't hit the ball very nicely. Off the side of the boot, went through for a minor score. 10-12, 72. The Dragons, 7-7, 49. 25 minutes gone. Third quarter. Fresh footy is Bendigo Live, Football Live.
Now, the old chestnut, you'll like this, Brian. Brody James of Golden Square, he was in the area. He should have chased Conforti. He chased him. It was a little half-assed chase. And then when he realised that he was out by himself, he got out of the area. So the spotlight, there was that old chestnut. That's what it was.
You love to run away. No, I wasn't there. I was nowhere near it.
Now, I'm just making an example of him because that's what Golden Square's mindset has been in the back half, which they're not going to win if they continue. Thrum now plays on from fullback into the middle. Compston is the target. Comes off hands. Tardrew, though, for the Dragons. They're coming in waves, the Dragons. Inside forward 50. Ureta. He was supported by Connick. Picked it up. He gives it by hand to Mills. Mills inside forward 50. Numbers. Conforti again. Someone pick him up because he's running right. The second time in a minute, he's been let run free and he's going to have another shot at goal.
Well, his old man used to be able to kick a ball, an absolute Peter, kick a kilometre, we used to call him. He could bang it through.
Conforti.
This bloke can kick too.
Left footer. Well, he stabbed at it. Geez, it went the distance easily, but it was a minor score. It was a bit of a laconic effort in the end, but, they just failed to put him away. Yep, 10-13, 73, 7-7, 49, Golden Square, 26 minutes gone. Third term, Footy Fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Geary from fullback. Looks up. Tries to sum up. He's walked out of the square now. It's play on. He just chips it out wide. Over the top. Tries to hit a target. Can't. Numbers with the Dogs. Dragons pick it up, though. Banging the ball. Picked up by Moran. He gave it back over to Walsh. Walsh then gave it off to Paul Pat. He banged it on the boot. Top of the square. Oh, Thornton got his hands to it. Ureta was there. Couldn't pick it up. Ball out. Dragons. Dogs. Get it back to Geary. Jack Geary goes over the top, and he's going to be able to give it off to his man there in Reeves, who will relieve the pressure. Oh, no, it's not. It's coming back because it's come off the side of the boot. It's gone over the line, out of bounds to the full 65 metres out from the Dragons' goal.
Well, the guy with the can in his hand, standing near that bar over there, he punched the ball with one hand and managed to save his drink. So
that's what you've got to do.
It was good work.
Put your life on the line.
Yeah, so it's only momentarily pressure relieved because Dragons again inside forward 50 to the hot spot. Well, they'll make them work. Flew high early. Tardrew as well. Spills to Collins. Probably grabbed without the footy by Coe. Umpire let it go. 30 metres out. Top of the square. Directly in front. Umpire Norton, in his 500th game, says, I am going to ball this up. Give it to me. 73 playing 49, 27 gone third term.
Ball down. Compston got it down. Picked up, though. Hoskin got it. Got the handball out wide. Little tap around the corner. Good work, though, by the Dogs. Now they got run over the top. They give it off and run it out of defence. Hartley kicks it long to centre wing. Ball over the top. Who's going to be first there? Good work, though, by Stewart. Knocked it on, ran onto it, ran to 45, had a player inside forward 50, unselfish play, and he's kicked out Burke, who's taken an easy mark about 35 metres out directly in front. Coast-to-coast footy by the Dogs, and James Burke will go back and have a shot on goal. Look for his first of the afternoon.
Best bit of play for the term this second half by Golden Square. They finally found space, and now this is going to result in, you would think, a goal.
Good, long, hard kick. Oh, he's let himself down in front of goal again. James Burke has just knocked that up, kicked it through for a minor score, and that will not help the Dogs. Help the Dogs in any way. 7-8-50. They trail the Dragons 10-13-73. 28 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter.
Curnow plays on from fullback. He'll send it long. They'll set themselves. Good long, strong, hard. Tardrew took a good mark, set himself.
He's been pretty good, Tardrew, all day.
Right half back.
He's been in amongst it and just ran, and he's very strong in the air for not a very tall player, is he?
No, and the players he's kicking to, all the shielding their eyes from the sun. Long shadows here at the QEO. Over the top, a cute little give by Wright. Was probably Lairising a little bit. Didn't like it. Well, I didn't like it, Brian. And either the umpire said, let's stop doing that. Give it to me. You're all on top of the footy. I'm going to ball up umpire John Norton. 23-point margin. Dragons lead. Almost 30 minutes gone. Third term. Footy Fresh has been to go football live.
Ball in the air. Hoskin knocks it down. Tarju was trying to be on the end of it. He burst through the pack. Just couldn't get it out. He's been ball held in. Oh, Johnny Norton is giving a free kick away. Probably a little bit harsh. Oh, there was nearly a free kick there. Murley gets up off the ground. And he will take the free kick, kicks it inside forward 50. Big pack form over the top. Curnow going through the pack, tackle without it. No free kick. Umpire says play on. Ball in dispute. Stacks on the mill. Stewart, well, he's hailing cabs and asking the umpire, was it a free kick? But no, umpire said no, give it to me and I'll ball it up 50 metres out from the Dogs.
Umpire Caldwell in his 300th senior game this afternoon. He's umpired pretty well. Tardrew grabs it for the Dragons. Hurried kick out of the pack to the wing. There's a pack of Dogs there, though. Who's going to win it? Spills towards Monty. Monty of the Dogs. Can he pick it up? He does. He'll send it now long inside forward 50. Here's a chance. Burke and Brett are lurking. It spills towards the boundary line. Trying to sweep on the ball with Stewart. He's been a good target down there in this second half of the Dogs. But it sees its way over the boundary line and will throw it in 20 metres around from the Dogs' attacking goal. 23-point margin, Dragons lead. 31 minutes gone, third term. Footy Fresh has been to go football live.
Can they get one late in the quarter? Oh, Hoskin took it out of the pack, threw it on the hand. From, though, cut it off, put it on the outside of the boot. Got it around, but Nally came in and took a good, strong mark in the last line of defence for the Dragons. Right in front, right on the point post on the grandstand side. Deep into attack for the Dogs. Nearly 32 minutes gone in this third quarter. Runs, plays on, gets plenty of distance. There's the siren here at three-quarter time in the big game between the Dogs and the Dragons. The Dragons take into a 23-point lead in a three-quarter time. 10-13-73. They lead Golden Square 7-8-50. And that is Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live, Johnny.
Down at the graveyard, Eagle Hawk, a big lead, 13-381 to Gisborne, 4-4-28. Over at Princess Park.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you how. Turn the key and flick the light. Bendigo, you know it's right. Feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home.
2 goals. That it would have been a sensational quarter, but just wasn't able to put the ball through the middle. Nelly was good down back as well. I thought he was really, really good, but probably the guy that's just dominating at the moment is the big man in the middle of the ground in Hoskin. Hamish Hoskin has not hardly had a break all day.
No.
He's just rucked right the way through, and he's been dominating in the middle of the ground. So he's the difference between the two sides at the moment.
Probably Xavier Murley, the most consistent of the Bulldogs. The rest of them have been pretty inconsistent at times. Morecambe, who was pretty quiet in that third term, though. Thrum,
Here he's been okay.
Thrum at times, but all the names that you think would be up and about just haven't simply been there, Brian. So I think it's the defensive run is disappointing me a little bit, but we'll see what happens in this last term. 10-13-73 playing 7-8-50 for the final term. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Here's Brian Mansbridge.
Ball out of the middle, and again, the big man in Hoskin gets it off to Tarju. Tarju bangs it on the boot, puts it forward, but it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Co for the at 10.5 back. He looks up. What has he got? He's indecisive, decides that he's just going to have to defend wide. It's a one-on-one contest, and the big man, Compton, takes the ball, gives it off to Thrum. They go down the wing, can't hit the target. Good work by Smith. It's just a little blind turner's step around his opponent. Ball at ground level, picked up there nicely by Burke, who gave it off. Now the Dogs, can they build something and hit a target? Ball again, just off the back of the pack, running towards the boundary line. Nelly, it's eventually over centre at the centre wing, and it will be a ball in here at the QEO. Early on in this final quarter, can the Dogs get back and rally something, or will the Dragons end up being on top of them this afternoon?
Well, it'll be against the trend, won't it? Because they've been good so far, the Dragons. Golden Square struggling as we've got another stoppage out of side, swimming pool side. As it'll be Hosking. Wins the tap again to Conforti. Conforti, a cute little kick. That was okay to Tardru. Tardru then gave it to Paul Pratt. Paul Pratt that kicks it to right half forward. Might have been held without the footy.
Never even, wasn't even near it. I don't
Stagg,
Yep.
Jake Thrum, the offending player, and Nick Stagg got a free kick. Probably, he's far too out, 70 metres out from goal.
Kicks it inside forward 50, can't hit the target. Ball got over the back, now at ground level. Picking it up and banging it on the boot was Wharton, just punching it. There was Coe. Got it back towards Crompton. He gave it off to Thrum. Now a little one by Morecambe. Kicks it out wide. Can he hit the target? They do. They play on quickly now. The Dogs, they go inside forward 50. One-on-one contest. Ireland up against Hartley. Ball at ground level. Ball still undisputed. They stacks on the middle, held it up. And it was very well done by the defence of the Dragons, not letting the Dogs get out of there. And it'll be a ball up right on the arc of 50, deep into attack for the Bulldogs.
Dragons lead by 23 points. Compton wins it out of the air. Handballs it over the top by pressure. He handed straight to Cooper Smith, who fumbled at the last moment. Now James might have got one too high for the Bulldogs, and he did. So Brodie James, cross half forward. Short pass, wide. I don't like it when they go out there, but they will. Now it's a long ball to the top of the square. Set themselves. Ireland, big punch, goes 30 metres, but he punched it straight to the Golden Square player who put it around the boot. In fact, it might have been Joel Brett, it was. And, geez, it just snuck in for a minor. It was almost a goal.
He nearly thought he kicked it, but it wasn't to be. Playing on from fullback was Kerno. He gave it off to Nelly. Nelly then just went short to Conforti. Conforti's got a little one short, but he's got his hands up defending the sun. There's left foot. He'll play on towards the boundary line and just bang it on the boot. Gets it to centre wing. Ball, big pack falls. Oh, off the ground. It was a little toe poke by Collins who pushed it forward, but it's gone over the line out of bounds for a throw in centre wing, just in front of the grandstand here at the QEO. We've played 3.5 minutes. It is still the Dragons leading by 22 points here on Footy Fresh is Bendigo Live. Ball thrown back in. Hoskin did it again. Gave it off to Conforti. Just hit him on the on the chest, but he got a high tackle and he'll get a free kick centre wing. Sam Caporti for the Dragons.
Plays on the left foot. Here's a nice kick of the football. He's got an uncomplicated style. Now goes to the top of the square. Bulldogs under pressure. Hickman receives a handball. Was hurried out of the pack, but effective. Now he's away. 2 bounces. He'll look at a third. He runs to the wing. He'll look at a fourth. 4 bounces now. He's still too far out. Goes short pass. And I reckon he was out of petrol tickets. It was a tied kick and he kicked it straight to Connick in the end.
Connick chips it over the top. He gives it to Lockie Wright. Right now on centre wing out of side. Probably on half back. More than centre wing. Goes down the wing long. Big pack forms. Gets over the back. Pulling it out there was Coe for the Dogs. Goes over the top. Hits a target. Dropping it. Got to be pinged. Hickman, no. Free kick. Ball still in dispute. Geary stepping into trouble. Gets tackled. Brought to ground. This time the umpire says, yes, you're gone, son. Probably should have been the one before. But I think he just made up for it then and just decided, well, Jack, sorry, mate, you're going to be the one in trouble this time, and it'll be a free kick to the Dragons on the outer side. James Coughlin for them will take it on half forward.
Short pass, unchecked, another mark, and this time I reckon it's right. He'll go to the top of the square. Dragons attacking. In fact, it's I'm down the wrong end, aren't I, Brian? Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah.
No, you're not. You're right, Johnny.
You know why I said I'm round the wrong end?
Because you saw Kerno standing there and you went, what the hell's he doing down
I
the
did.
forward line?
And when he was doing all that, he turned around and he had a shot at goal and just missed it and sprayed to the right. I don't think I've seen him down forward ever.
Yeah, well, he does play forward. He does sneak down. He doesn't mind kicking a goal, the big man.
Yeah, 74. Well, if I'm confused, the players must be confused. Good coaching move. 74 playing 51, 5.5 gone. Final term, footy fresh. It's Bendigo Football Live.
Dogs from fullback, kick it out long and wide. Coe the target and takes it. Jonathan Coe for the Dogs. Still on half back, gets called to play on. Kerno's moving around. He chips it underneath as well. It's the target as the Bennett takes it for the Dogs. Now he plays on. Tries to kick the centre wing. Will do that. Big pack forms. Murley over the top. That's a good mark. Got the hand up. Took the mark. Murley for the Dogs. Now goes into the centre corridor. This is where they need to be able to stop and play on. They couldn't. Quick handball though. Hits Hickman. Went back inside. Gets around onto the right boot. Puts it deep to the top of the square. Good contest though. Dragons got the numbers. Now one out the back. Taju on the end of it. He'll be able to just play and hold up the line and he'll kick it to half back.
Up they'll go. Connick at the back of the pack. Kept his feet. Murley didn't. Connick shovels one out by hand. They're just lining up. The old 1-2 ended up with Paul Pratt. Numbers are with the Dragons along the boundary line. Collins just can't keep it in across half forward. He had Burke on his hammer. Did well. 74 playing 51. 7 minutes gone. Final term. Footy fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Well, had an opportunity there. The Dogs, they just couldn't quite capitalise on that going inside forward 50. Now the ball back to the other end. Oh, he has absolutely done it all day. Big Hosking. He gave it off to Coughlin. James Coughlin went down forward, snapped around the corner, bouncing ball, but it's going to go through for a minor score to the Dragons. Following it through there was Strock. And the Dragons go to 10-15-75. Golden Square, 7-9, 51, a 24-point lead, 7.5 minutes gone, third quarter, and here on Fresh Footy.
Sensing the urgency already, I reckon, Golden Square. They played in from fullback quickly, ended up with Morecambe. Morecambe kicks it to the outer side wing, which is the swimming pool side. Murley, tumbling after the ball, couldn't quite get him. It was just out of reach of his fingertips. Then it goes over the boundary line. And, in fact, it's moved its way to a cross half forward for Golden Square, left half forward.
I like how the way Nelly, he works really hard down back, and he's very steady, takes a good strong mark, intercept marks.
He's not that old, I don't think, either, Brian. As we're going to
have another one.
Yeah, the boundary umpire, God bless the little fella, didn't quite nail it on that occasion. Let's have another go at it. Compston v. Hosking. Hosking's had the chocolates this afternoon, you would think. Running through was Reeves making pass to the Bulldogs. To the back door, to Thrum. Thrum on the right foot, which is his wrong one. Inside forward 50, whistle on play, free kick, Golden Square. And if they're going to win this game, Burke will have to kick this goal.
Didn't kick one today and been in a fair bit of trouble in front of goal. He's missed some easy set shots, Johnny, and he needs to kick this. He kicked this from about 48, 49. And as you said, if they don't kick this, they're probably no chance.
And, well, you want to give him one more chance because that's not a no. Geez, it was lucky to score, Brian. That's probably the story of the afternoon with Golden Square. They're not going quite right anyway. 52 they are. They trail 75. 9 minutes gone. Last term, footy fresh. He's been to go football live.
Well, Kerno from fullback. He's back to where you like him there, Johnny. He's kicking in from fullback. He's got a teammate in Smith in the pocket in front of the scoreboard. He's got also Nelly out here with his sides. He's going to play on and kick it outside defensive 50. Puts it to half-back. Big pack forms. Collins went down. Ball at ground level. Picked up by Connick, who just banged it around. That was Max dead. Oh, good work by Paul Pat. He's just banged it on the boot. He had Lockie Wright all by himself. Didn't see him. Now it's a foot race. Two big men go. Good work, though, by Strike, who outran there in Thornton. He was able to give it off, gave it to a teammate. They get it to half-back, and they play on through Geary, who takes it, runs, kicks it long inside, looking for Murley. Couldn't quite take it, and it's been turned over, and it'll be the Dragons from half-back through Hood.
He mopped it up nicely, Hood, then put it wide, and it was just a little bit of an wayward kick, but it's probably a good result in the end because they'll just be able to slow things down here. As Golden Square looked to build then, didn't they? Murley, well, he had a lot of that footy. If he had marked it, geez, they were on again because they had players streaming forward. Now it's still on the wing. In fact, it's halfway between wing and half forward. Hosking almost threw that to Paul Pratt, was allowed to get away with it and has kicked it out of bounds on the full. And a free kick, a penalty free kick, will go to Jonathan Coe. Been under pressure all this afternoon, hasn't he, too, Jonathan Coe?
He has been under plenty of pressure from half back now. Coe goes down the line, gets it to centre half back or centre half forward. Big fly from over the back, and it's a good mark by the man there. It might have been Bass, was it, who kicked it inside and turned it over again. And Hood takes a lovely little mark on his knee, chips it over the top to Wharton, who runs through the centre of the ground. He's got a teammate sitting there waiting, and they're off and running here. The Dragons, they got numbers. Wharton has come on and kept running. Now he gives it off and gave it to Moran. He went inside, a poor kick inside forward 50, bouncing ball, went over the top, had Stay running hard at it. Got a high tackle against his opponent, and it will be a free kick, and it will go to the Dogs there in Barrett.
Barrett spreads it wide. You're looking for James. Also offering support was Shelton. They worked it between themselves, and then it was a long kick over to Thrum. Thrum got a player in support. Handball over the top, then a short pass. Juggling Mark Burke, who's up the field on centre wing. Swimming pool side. Short pass forward. They're looking to move it quickly. Hickman now. He'll look to move it on as well. Hasn't got anything on offer now. Need to slow it down. Short pass, ineffective. Kicked it straight to Paul Pratt of the Dragons, and that'll relieve some pressure for them. 75 playing 52. 12 minutes gone. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Little chip out wide. Finds a teammate who's the Dragons now will come all the way back and find Nelly. Nelly has Wharton out wide. He just kicks it over his head. Bouncing ball. It should sit for him. Oh, Tingy. He should have grabbed it the first time. Alex Wharton, but just let it bounce that one too many times, and it just got on the end and ran over the line out of bounds. 55 metres out from the Dogs' goals. Deep into attack. They need to get a goal and get one quickly if there's any chance to get back in this game. Ball off the air. Hoskin just put it straight down the throat of Tarju. Through the centre of the ground. Smith grabs it. Went out wide. Bouncing ball. Good call. Good collect there by the big man in Maxted. Went around the corner and saw Ureta. He picked it up. Went back inside and had a teammate standing there all by himself. And that is good footy from half-back flank to a set shot directly in front. Lockie Wright will go back and have that shot for the Dragons.
So wasn't that a good build-up? Just the story of the afternoon with the Dragons. They're running in numbers. Ureta getting involved there. His delivery into side forward 50 was hit him right on the chest, and they couldn't do anything about it in Golden Square.
Lockie Wright got 5 last week. Looking for his first of the afternoon this week, and that's straight through the middle. He does get his first, and that will take them to 11-5-81. And they lead the Dogs, who are, well, just haven't been able to get the score on the board this afternoon. And they are 7-10-52. 13 and a half minutes gone in this final quarter. And, well, you would think the Dragons are well and truly home and hosed here in the big, well, Best Memorial game.
Well, it did come in from Uraida, but further afield up the ground, it come from Cooper Smith as well. Alex Wharton running shotgun, and
tapping the ruck here, right to Tarju, right down in the middle, and then Smith through the middle.
Yeah,
they were off and running and out of and just moving the ball so well.
He's probably the difference between the game. This Hosking, he's toweling them up now. He towed up Compton, now he's toweling up Freckleton, which it's no embarrassment because he's just a super player. They'll get a free kick here, though, Golden Square, and they'll spread it wide. They'll look to build something off half-back. Kick comes to Thrum. Thrum on the wing. Short pass on the left. He's got Murley breaking for him. Definitely the most consistent over 4 quarters. He'll go to the top of the square. Who have they got? Hands on foot. He couldn't quite grab it. Might have been Dogood. It was. Hood did well. A double fister. Way to numbers. Connick, short pass. Wharton, they're running. Wharton, left half-back, over the top, short pass. Maxted took a nice strong mark. He'll go through the middle. He's got Noah Walsh. Comes off hands, though. Couldn't quite get it. Xavier Murley, he intercepts. His kick's intercepted. Noah Walsh over the top. Coughlin, and they're just working. Composed, nice, long kick by Conforti.
Gets it to half forward, big pack form, so it's going to be Mark. No, dropped what he probably should have taken. The Dragons, the Dogs there in Burke. Ball in dispute, got it off the pack. Umpire said, no, it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go back. And it's going to be, it'll be Burke who will take the free kick for the Dogs. Goes straight directly across the ground. Now they chip it out to centre wing, outer side. Reeves goes down the ground, looking for the big man there to try and take a mark in Brett. Couldn't take it. Ball in dispute at ground level. So, it's on half forward. Stacks on the mill. Umpire says you can't just jump on it and leave your body over the top. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to the Dragons, and it will be Cooper Smith, I think, on that outer side.
Storm clouds brewing down the Camp Reserve, 100-point margin, the Storm against the Magpies. So the honeymoon's over for Brendan Shepherd, the new Castlemaine coach. Short pass. Dragons now looking to build. Stagg with the footy.
Yeah, it is.
Stagg.
You can see that ugly head from here.
Yeah, he goes long.
His old man will be over here punching me in a bit.
Thornton got bustled out. It was good work by Burke. He'll go to Hartley across half-back. They're just always under pressure here. It's a kick further afield wide. Dogood overran the footy. Nelly did well with pressure. Dogood, he responded better. Don't argue. Now he's got space. Short pass. Barely the required distance to Burke. Burke will swing and go. He's 70 out from goal. He's got a player on him breaking for him. Couldn't quite get it. That was Barrett. Cooper Smith did well. He'll now collect and he'll kick it beyond 50 for the Dragons.
He'll chip it out wide and he finds a teammate all by himself.
Moran, I think it is.
Yeah, it is Moran. He'll take the mark on, just outside defensive 50. Out of side. He just waits, looking for someone to come across. Has that player out wide, and that would be a Walsh who takes the mark. Short kick, just centre wing, probably just over the required distance. Now he stops and waits. Noah Walsh looks up the ground, chips it down. Coughlin was there, was going to take it, but chipping in front was Stagg. Then eventually it came out the back. Good work by Moran. Gave it out to Stagg. He banged it inside. Tarju's there. Front square's going to get a free kick. Just put his body in front of his opponent, backed into him, and then just drew the free kick. And Lockie Tarju for the Dragons will go back and have a set shot at goal about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. And, this would be, I think this would be where the fat lady just comes out the back there, Johnny, and she's just gargling a little water, getting ready to say, as he comes in, Tarju, I'll go through it in a minute. If he kicks this goal, Lockie Tarju been very, very good for the Dragons all day. He's got one, comes in and gets it to the line. Is it going to go all the way? I think it does, and it is a goal. And Johnny, that is over. She's out there, the big fat lady. She's coming out. And it's the Dragons who get another one on the board. Lockie Tarju gets his second of the afternoon. The Dragons go to 12-15-87. The Bulldogs 7-10-52, 18 minutes gone in the final quarter. And, Johnny, the Dragons are going to be very, very happy tonight.
Well, you're not the best looking fat lady I've ever seen, I'll tell you that, Brian. But you're
That's
right.
very true.
Jonathan Coe, he couldn't do anything about that. He was the defending player on Tardru. Tardru just backed into him, used his body. It meant that Coe had to go over the top with the fist to try to get it out of the way, and it was just forward craftsmanship which caused a goal for Tardru. And you're right. And Sandhurst deserved to win this game. They've been far superior as Moran goes to the back door by hand to Coughlin. They'll build again to half forward. James for the Dogs, took a good mark. Contested, short pass, made Thrum work. Noah Walsh did well defensively for the Dragons. And too little too late. They're showing a bit of muscle here. Golden Square getting involved with argy-bargy, but it won't mean a thing. 87 playing 52. 19 minutes gone. Final term. Bendigo footy fresh. It's Bendigo Football Live.
Out of sight of the QEO. As we said, 19 minutes gone. Final quarter. The Dragons dominating this final quarter again. Running in was Moran, got pushed off the ball. Good work by the Dogs, but again, coughed it up. Gave it to Tarju. He's nearly got leather poisoning. He's had that much of it. Kicks it inside forward, 50. Ball front and square, picked up by Paul Pat. He just balks, goes back, gives the handball over the top. Conforti dropped probably and didn't take the ball, then knocked it back towards the Dragons player in Paul Pratt, but it was going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to Thrum, or is that Burke, for the Dogs. And right in the deep pocket over the far side. He bangs it on the boot, puts it long, outside defensive 50. Ball bouncing towards the pocket, picked up by Freckleton. Couldn't get it off. Then a kick smothered by the Dragons. It's coming back now. Paul Pratt. Hickman was there for the Dogs, but it's been pushed over the line, out of bounds for a throw-in, Johnny. Deep in that pocket, over the far side, near the pool, at the QEO, where we see the Dragons leading the Dogs here, 12-15, 87, 7-10, 52, 20 minutes. We just got into red time in the final quarter.
As it goes deep in the forward line there for the Dragons, looking to build another one. Collins is in the area, hands and knees, shoveled it out. A lot of players around the ball. Umpire's going to have to. In fact, incorrect disposal. That's one way of getting it out there.
Ooh.
And he gives Monty of the Dogs a free kick. Short pass, lateral to James. 40-point margin out at Neil Street. So South Bendigo over the Tigers. Tigers are disappointing, aren't they, this year so far? I'd love to be able to give you a Maryborough score, but the score...
Let's stop putting it on.
Yeah. Let's not get into that little bit of a... There's an elephant in the room with that as Paul Pratt goes long into the forward pocket, goes to the back of the pack. Dragons lurking everywhere. Urata's one of them, but... It's a rolling pack that gets thumped over the line.
No, I think it's going to...
A free kick, is it?
No, he's actually said before he got it over the line that he was going to ball it up. It's going to be a ball up right on in the centre of the square.
Umpire Corwell throws it up. Oh, Hosking just grabbed it out of the air. The Golden Square players are claiming it's touched. Umpire Corwell and the goal umpires confer. And they're not going to have a bar, but I think they're just going to give him a goal. And that is the story of the afternoon, the way that Hosking, he was allowed to grab that ball out of the ruck 2 metres out from goal and just did what he liked and kicked it through for a major.
Unbelievable. Easy work. Too easy for the Dragons.
13-15-93. Sandhurst 7-10-52. 22 minutes gone. Final term. Footy fresh as Bendigo Football Live.
Well, he's coming off the ground. He's done his job all day. Big Hamish Hoskin. And look, that was a sensational. Between him and Tarju, most of the day they have been on fire. Worked really, really hard. Ball back in the middle. Thornton this time gets the ball up. Little toe poke through the pack. Tarju on the end of it. Gives a long one out to Conforti. From 55 downtown. Can't quite get it back. Through for another minor score. And that will take the Dragons to 13-16-94. Leading Golden Square 7-10-52. 22 and a half gone. Final quarter.
Vaz for the Dogs. Disappointing Dogs today, Brian.
Very disappointing.
I'm off them.
Well,
I am. I seriously am.
yes, I like the Dragons. I think they've got a very good side. If they can keep some of these kids like Maxted, Tarju and Conforti playing, they're going to be very, very hard to beat.
Hood now for the Dragons goes forward, but it's Vaz that takes a mark defensively. Crosses laterally to Jonathan Coe. Short pass
Still
over the
been all
top.
right, Co. He's
Dogs.
under plenty of pressure most of the day.
Well, he's had enough of the footy down there. He can't help but get it. His teammates aren't giving him very much. As it's now Hartley just did it easily. He'll come in board to Freckleton, and Freckleton takes a mark in the centre of the QEO.
Freckleton plays on, gets onto the right boot, goes inside forward 50. Too good going back. Bouncing ball. It got over the back behind Thornton. A little handball towards the square, but it's come over the top. It's been picked up by Wharton, who chips it out and finds Curnow. And Curnow just says, slow it down, boys. I know how to play this game. We just chip it around now. We've got this ball. We've played nearly 24 minutes, and he chips it out and finds a teammate out by himself in Wharton, who just goes back in front of the scoreboard in the outer side. Umpire says, move it along, Alex. He does. Kicks it long down the line. Coming out, nearly taking a good strong mark there was Tarju. Couldn't quite keep his hands on it. Conforti running at the
Out of bounds
ball.
on the full,
He's
actually.
just toe poked it a tiny little bit, and Hartley will take a free kick for out in the full, about 65 metres around from their goal.
For the Dogs, will send it to the top of the square. Do Good is his target. Noah Walsh float in front of the pack for the Dragons. Now it's a contested ball. Zave Murley might get one for too high here for the Dogs. He does. He threw his head back, and he's got that blonde hair, which made it. Well, it emphasised probably the contact. It was there, and this will be a good result for Murley because he's probably one of a few of the Dogs that can put up his hand and say, I had a crack all game, Brian.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been between him and Big Jonathan Coe, they've been their better players for most of the day, and actually, been serviceable. Murley's been really serviceable for the Dogs.
He's a Castlemaine boy, this young man. His roots are from the Main, but unfortunately he's up here for the Castlemaine people, playing for Golden Square with his mates up, as it always happens, as he just kicks a goal nicely to round off his afternoon. His first of the afternoon, Brian, for Zave Murley. He's been all over the ground and just tightens the margin fractionally. 8-10-58 the square. The Dragons 13-16-94. 26 minutes almost gone. Final term, footy fresh, is Bendigo Football Live.
Yeah, just a little bit too strong for the Dogs. Most of the afternoon, the Dragons, they've dominated in the middle of the ground with the ruckman in Big Hamish Hosking, who has been just putting the ball down the throats of his teammates. And if not that, he's been grabbing them out of the ruck and just putting them inside forward 50 himself. So ball back in the middle again. Ball thrown in the air. This time he is up in the ruck as Connick, who was trying to get it down. Couldn't get it. Ball at ground level up against his opponent in ruck was Vass. Ball thrown in the air. Vass wins it down. He gets a little kick. No, it's Strosh, who knocks it down. First time he's been in the ruck. Ball tapped on. Dogs go inside forward 50. Running on it was Hickman. Didn't quite get the bounce of the ball and put it through for another minor score for the Dogs. 8-11-59. They trail the Dragons 13-16-94 at the 26.5 minute of this final quarter here at the QEO for the Ron Best Memorial.
Curnow, Dragons plays on from fullback, sends it beyond 50. Grandstand side. 3 deep. Sardru. Good mark. We had 3 in front of him and 1 behind him. So he was one that looked like marking all along.
His size, to be able to do that, and I watch him in the VFL and see what he does that, like, time and time again. You think he's a lot taller, and he plays a lot taller than what he is.
He puts it down the line to the wing. Thornton and Collins up the field. Whistle. Free kick. Dogs, it might be, Brian. In fact,
Yeah, it is.
no one's quite sure which way it's going to go. It'll go to Burke. Burke short pass laterally. John Coe further afield laterally. They swung across half back from one side to the other. Thrum, handball forward. James, he goes to the wing. Good mark. Might be Freckleton. He and Strosh look alike, actually.
Yeah,
I see why he got that one.
Look at those tats.
Yeah, his arms. Yeah, well, not much of them, is there? As the ball bounces, Hickman gathers, handball over the top, and there it is. Final score here. A very dominant Sandhurst. They've won their 3rd in a row. The Ron Best Memorial, I say. Very, very impressive. Final scores. Sandhurst, 13-16-94. Golden Square, 8-11-59. And, well, they never really looked like losing this game right from the first minute, Brian.
No, it tightened up early in the first couple of quarters. It was a sort of 10-point, 6-point, 10-point. like they were just, 4 points to 10 points. It was just a little bit here and there in certain stages in that, first half. But in the second half, they really did switch it on, the Dragons, and they sort of were able to run away with it. And look, they played the better footy. The ruckman in big Hamish Hoskin was probably the difference between the two sides, and also having a bloke like by the the name of Lockie Tarchu running around in the middle of the ground for you is he just dominated. If Hoskin was putting it down his throat, and he uses the ball so well. Then you got the likes of Sam Conforti and bits and pieces like that. They are a very dominant side to this afternoon, and the Dogs just didn't have any answers.
Final scores at Neil Street. Kyneton Tigers disappointing 5-16-46 have been defeated by the Bloods 14-8-92. The other games still in progress. We'll bring them to you as they come to hand. Plenty more to come. We'll dissect this game further. We'll have a look at next week's game. Also, we'll catch up with Joel Peterson, who is down at Gardner Reserve in Gisborne, and will give us the final score and the summation of that game. Meanwhile, here, round 3 has been completed. The Ron Best Memorial game, it's a 35-point margin to Sandhurst. Big winners, 13-16-94 have defeated Golden Square, 8-11-59. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live.
Some Central Victoria radio stations don't think much of local footy. Some Central Victoria radio stations love local footy. Not some, only one. Bendigo Fresh FM. We do love local footy. Live fresh Saturday afternoon Bendigo football, sponsored by Bendigo Scaffolding, Total Tint, The Locksmith Store, Maryborough Highland Society, Central Kitchens, Bendigo Bulk Carpets, Rules, and Steve Barty Gas, Castlemaine. Footy Fresh, supporting Central Victoria's major football league. Each Monday from 5, join us for Done and Dusted, local footy previews, reviews, and selections. Footy Fresh is Community Bendigo Football Live. Fresh FM sponsor.
Vasectomy is a proven and reliable form of contraception for men. It is generally a simple procedure that can be performed under local anaesthetic. It may seem a simple snip, but some men need a little more to manage the anxiety and stress of a very personal procedure. That's why the Sleep Vasectomy Clinic offer the option of safe and effective vasectomy procedure while you are asleep. The Sleep Vasectomy Clinic, Hampton Park. To find out more, visit sleepvasectomy.com.au.
The Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place. Specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales, and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor The Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure and service guaranteed. Steve Barty Gas is your local supplier of household, LPG cylinders, forklift, industrial and hospitality gases. They refill or exchange barbecue and camping cylinders and have a range of lubricants and greases. Steve Barty is a local bloke and has serviced Castlemaine and surrounding districts for over 40 years. For great service and competitive prices, contact Fresh sponsor Steve and the team on 5472 1262 or info@stevebartygas.com.au.
Fresh FM sponsor. Rules Mower Service of Castlemaine has all your outdoor power equipment needs covered, from lawnmowers and ride-ons to chainsaws and brush cutters. Rules service what they sell and offer a range of quality brands and accessories, including Stihl, Honda, Cox, Hustler, Rover and more. Talk to Rowan and the team at Rules Mower Service for good old-fashioned advice and reliable service. Rules is proud to be supporting local businesses, sports and the community.
Fresh FM sponsor.
The kitchen sits central at the heart of your home and is much more than cupboards and bench tops. Let Central Kitchens design and build a custom kitchen, perfect for your needs, specifications and lifestyle. Locally owned and operated, all kitchens are manufactured right here in Bendigo. A high quality kitchen built by us. A quality lifestyle at home built by you. Visit centralkitchens.com.au and find your dream kitchen today.
Returning for more live footy, sponsored by Sleep Vasectomy for a painless, quick procedure while you're asleep. And performed by a male doctor, no referral is required and no waiting list. Just go to sleepvasectomy.com.au. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Well, it's all over here at the QEO between Sandhurst and Golden Square in the Ron Best Memorial Game. It's round 3 of Bendigo Football Netball League, where Sandhurst have ended up big winners, 35-point margin, 13-16-94 to Golden Square, 8-11-59. Other games coming to hand, final scores, we'll bring them to you as we get them. Kyneton disappointing at Neil Street. 5-16-46 have been defeated by South Bendigo.
It feels like home, it feels like home. Berry plant, it feels like home. A place for you, a place for now. And Berry plant will show you